Okay, we're back. Sorry for the delay. I was just messing with my camera settings because I realized I had the wrong lens on it from earlier. So I had to fix that. I'm gonna try to see if I can make this as centered as possible. This light's way better, don't you think? I think it's way better. Vince is gonna fix the microphone too. Because he changed some settings for his lessons and then we gotta change it all back. Vince's gonna have to fix something. This is very exciting of the moment. Let's see. Hi, Donica. Hello, hello. I don't know how much you guys saw when I hit live and I didn't change the intro screen yet, so sorry if I sounded frustrated. It was more just that I was hurting, I promise. I don't even know what I said. I just noticed I could see some of myself in the live stream. Vince is gonna fix noise suppression. That's really thrilling. Is it? I can't hear myself, so Vincent has to tell me how it sounds. This top is bothering me. We went surfing for almost 3 hours today, and then just collapsed. We were so tired. So we're still not really good. Yeah, Vincent's fixing the microphone. Sorry, it'll just be a sec. I should probably just not talk, but I need to talk so that he can hear if it sounds right or not. So I'm sorry, it's just gonna suck for a second. I'll probably cut this out of the end stream that will go on YouTube. What else needs to be fixed, Vincent?
Just that.
Okay. Donica, tell me if it's still bad. It shouldn't be, but we use this microphone for Vincent's lessons, like day to day, and for this every week. So sometimes the settings get weird because of that. And you're the only one here. Usually my little brother's here. I don't ask him to be, he just shows up. So he'll tell me, but I don't know if he's here because he just started college again this week. He's back from summer break. Fades out a little bit. Okay, we're gonna keep messing with it. I'm starting a new pattern. I already finished the ghost one. It was pretty quick to do, so everything's pretty low key tonight. Sorry, we tried to do this before, but this is Vincent's area. I literally don't know how to do anything. Can't hear it all.
Yeah, I can hear the same issue.
What could it be? What changed?
Probably some setting that I used for some reason. The microphone is just having issues.
Well, what do we do? Now you can hear. Okay. Tell us if it's bad or not. I'm so sorry. You get to be our guinea pig since you're the only one here.
Alright.
We did test it before, but it's just, there's this ambient noise in this van. Does it sound okay? But to you?
Continue on.
Okay, I really don't know what else to talk about. Especially if you can't hear me, and then why would I want to talk about it? Because I have to talk about it again. Okay, Donica says it's better.
Yeah, okay, so I know what else I can.
Okay. Yeah, looks like it's still not picking up the fan at all. So.
Go for it.
Okay, I mean, you're talking. I can. How does it sound to you? I'm gonna start stitching. I am working on a new pattern. One of my old ones that I made last year. Oh wait, no, I didn't want to do that. From Hocus Pocus. It's the Come We Fly one. I will show you in a sec. After Vince is out of here. Gets out of my way. Yeah, I'm trying to catch up. It's been like a long time coming. I've needed to stitch all of my patterns. I just couldn't really justify the time while I was getting my Etsy shop up and running, but now I know it's really probably costing me sales because I personally don't like to buy patterns that haven't been stitched. I get it. I mess with all the colors and stuff with my collection of threads and whatever else, but I just haven't like done all of the patterns myself. So that's my project, is catching up on all of that. This is what I finished. Does it sound okay, Vince? Let's see. I'm gonna switch cameras. Finish this one.
Just keep on tweaking. It works
Okay.
much better, but I just...
Let me see. I'm gonna zoom out. This one I just finished. I think it's so cute. Oh, that color doesn't look as good as it does in person. Let's see. Let's see. I think this is so cute. I was so happy with it. I think all the little details are fun. Some of it's like 4 strands and some of it's 2. So it's kind of, I did from French knots for her little glasses. This is from Taylor Swift's like anti-hero music video. It's the ghost in the anti-hero music video, and then a quote from We All Get Some Kind of Haunted from Midnight Rain, which is a song on the same album. If you don't know, I don't know how many people here are Swifties, so I'm just gonna explain it every time. But yeah, I think it turned out super cute. So I was like marathoning this to get it done as quickly as possible. This is loud now, this music. Can you turn it down?
Down.
I just need to turn the music down, it's too loud. It's bugging me. I can't hear a change on my end. Am I supposed to be able to?
It's not going to change how loud it is on your side right here.
Oh.
Like that would be this.
Okay, we're gonna figure it out. Is it on my end? Does that reflect on their end? Is the question. If I change that?
What?
If I adjust the sound there, does it change it on their end too? Or does it just change it on my end? Because I thought you said that it was the same.
That is just yours. That is their end.
Okay, got it. So I shouldn't have even done that.
For both, you just need to change non-academic sound.
Oh, got it. Okay, sorry. I don't know if I turned it down too much now. I just couldn't hear myself talking. But yeah, I wanted to do like a series of Taylor Swift Halloween kind of patterns. Okay, thanks, Donica. Glad you can hear us. Sorry all the testing. Vincent, like, it's been fine, and I had my settings all perfect, but then Vincent was recording videos this week, and so he changed a bunch of settings, and now it's messed up. But anyway, I wanted to do more Taylor Swift Halloween patterns, because that's just relevant and kind of fun. She has lots of quotes to being haunted, like references to being haunted and spooky things. But I also don't really have time if I also want to catch up on stitching everything. And I figured I'd prioritize stitching up Halloween patterns that I've already made over making new ones that I also have to stitch. Also, I made this top last week. It's very a loose weave. I need to get like a better bra for it. But it's comfy. I have to wear it because the top I was wearing earlier today, I got a rash like on my belly from surfing. Because today I went without a rash guard on my... I only did like a leg rash guard because the foamy, like the foam surfboard that I'm using, that Vince was using up till now, it's very rash inducing. So I have a rash here now from paddling today. But I got a horrible rash like on my inner thighs last week. So, or earlier this week actually. So I started wearing like a leggings rash guard, but then it was really warm today and I was like, there's no way I can wear a top rash guard and a bottom rash guard. I will roast. So I didn't wear a top rash guard. So I just had like a bikini top and then leggings. But then that made my stomach a little rashy too. So then I had to change shirts because the shirt I was wearing before was too scratchy and it hurt. So I'm doing great. We're doing awesome. Oh, hi, Danny. Finally, you showed up after I didn't need you anymore. Sound checks. Because Vincent changed all of his microphone settings. Okay, I'm setting up. So I have my pattern. Let's see. What am I working on? I'm doing the Come We Fly. It's from Hocus Pocus. It's like the quote from one of the Sanderson sisters. I can't remember. Let's see. Let me check. This is what it looks like. I think it's cute. Zoom in. It's really, really basic. It's like, I think it's like 5 inches by 5 inches. So it's like tiny. So it'll be really fast to stitch, I'm hoping. It just has like the mop, the broom, and the vacuum that the Sanderson sisters write off on. I decided I'd start with my fastest one first for the Hocus Pocus Halloween ones. Daniel, no, don't leave. I was just teasing. I'm glad you're here. I hope school's going good. How's it been being back? But yeah, anyway. So I'm a little rashy all over. It's like, I can't show you. The camera's too low. Oh, maybe I can. We'll get real personal. It's all this right here. Like, and then it's right in the crease of my belly. So I sweat and then it hurts more, which is just incredibly annoying. And we live in a van, so it's not like we have AC, so I'm just sweating and burning. Anyway, so that's the story of my weird knit top and my weird bra situation. Because it's too see-through, I discovered. Almost too late. I'm glad I noticed it in time. Okay, I think that last week we had some issues with lighting on this, but I got a new like LED light clamp situation. I think that this works pretty good. I'm happy with this, I think. Just got off work an hour ago with your exciting vending machine stocking job. Very cool, very, very demure, very mindful. That's why I say that all the time now. I feel like this top's gonna drive me nuts. Hey Vince, I need to change battery. I had a feeling. This battery said it was full. I was like, there's no way it's full. I knew it. Sorry, gotta fix it. The tripod has to be positioned just right where it won't open. But yeah, so I'm kind of marathoning all of my patterns. That's like what I'm going to be stitching for the next several months. It was just a good opportunity. Donica, you actually inspired me because you made a comment asking about that Star Wars pattern. And I was like, well, I can't even believe that you remembered that. And that also makes it even more worth it to do, like to stitch my own patterns, because at least if I'm spending time doing it, like people will remember them. They'll remember what I was stitching. So it's worth doing. It's kind of a free marketing situation, which helps me justify the time, because if it's not like something that is beneficial in other ways to my business, other than just like maybe having a better photo, I don't know if I could justify it. So thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome for taking your great idea. Thank you for having it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is why I'm starting this now. But I think if I can marathon all of my Halloween patterns and my Christmas patterns first, I think that will work good. The Star Wars pattern is so cute. I think that it might still be on Etsy. I got it on Etsy. That's where I get most of my patterns from other creators, like ones that I've stitched in the past. It's probably still up. It's so hard to tell. There's so many pattern makers that like, oh shoot, that's the wrong hole. There's so many pattern makers that like just literally put a photo through like a pattern maker thing, and you can really tell, especially now that I make my own, like it's really obvious when they don't actually stitch them, so they're not actually thinking about like what it's like to stitch the pattern that they've made. So I appreciated that one because I felt like it was really intentionally designed. Like it felt like how it should be. I'm gonna switch this to, can I switch this to manual focus? I don't remember if it has manual focus. I don't think it does. Yeah, it does. I just have to do it on. Sorry. I have to do it on here. I'm gonna switch it. That little teacup, yes, it is. It's one of the needle minders I saw in my shop. It says, my dear, you have the Grim. It's from Harry Potter. Harry Potter, specifically, Prisoner of Azkaban. When they are in divination, and Professor Trelawney has them reading tea leaves. And Ron is trying to figure out Harry's, and he goes, whatever, I can't remember what he sees in it, but he says, you're gonna suffer, but you're gonna be happy about it. And then she looks at it, and she's like, you have the Grim. I think it's a funny scene. I think that Emma Thompson, is that who the actress is? I think that she's fabulous. Okay, I'm gonna switch this back to, I'm gonna see if I can set it, oops, sorry. I'm gonna set it to manual focus, if I can, because why not? Sorry, we're still messing with camera stuff. I just started using this last week. I used to use my other camera. This one's a digital. Kind of almost a DSLR, but not. My other one is a true DSLR, which I just find a little bit easier to deal with. This one is not quality. Autofocus. Put it on menu. Can I change the focus? I don't know if I can. Maybe I can't. I don't actually know. Maybe I can't. We'll just leave it. It wasn't terrible. I just don't like when it changes focus randomly. I find that annoying. If I can just set it. But I don't know if I can set it on like the current like camera settings that I have. Never mind. I didn't even put on makeup today. I was like so tired after we got out of the ocean. I lost all sense of time and all sense of really anything at all. I was too tired to think. Okay, there we go. It was a great day out though. Like as soon as we got here, we were at Doheny Beach. As soon as we got here, we were like, ooh, we gotta go now. Because it's actually so good outside. Sorry, this is so hard to set. Because everything on the camera is like reversed. So I have to move it opposite. But yeah, we always go and look at the water. As soon as we land at this like beach, we always go check it out just to see. As soon as we get out there, we just saw like wave after wave rolling. It was so good. And just like surfer after surfer after surfer. And they were like good. They were good size today too, right? They were like, I'd say 3 to 4 feet, maybe.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
3 to 4 feet. And like the wind picked up later, so it was like, that made it a little bit more tiring because then the wind's just constantly pushing you around. You have to like paddle a lot more. But yeah, so it's hot. I mean, it was probably 80 degrees. Sorry. Probably 80 degrees, but like, that's not too bad when you're in the ocean water. Because the ocean here is always cool. Like, I think that the warmest that it gets is... the warmest I've seen it is 73 degrees. Which is still almost too cold for just a swimsuit. There's a lot of people who just wear swimsuits. I'm impressed with them. But I get a little bit chilly with just that. Okay, we're back. Sorry, I know it's probably so annoying I'm messing with it so much, but you have to deal with it. It's all a work in progress. But yeah, so it was nice. I was really proud of myself because I had Vincent set he was like a little waterproof watch. I had him set his watch to the time that my sunscreen said it was water resistant for, which is I think 80 minutes. We use like the Neutrogena, like the double pack you get at Costco. We've already been through a few bottles of it. We're in our last one actually. But it's like 60 plus SPF and it's good for 80 minutes. So it's a good one for surfing. Anyway, I had him set up the alarm and I was like, I have to go reapply because otherwise I will burn. And he had his alarm go off and I was so proud of myself. I caught a wave and I rode it literally all the way into, all the way in to where I could just like dismount right onto the sand and like run. I was like, wow, I am a professional. It felt very cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But yeah, so I didn't get sunburned. It just was hot. I think so. And that board gave me a rash, which I think is what wiped us out. We both are like, I think it's the sun, you know? It's like too much sun exposure. Because we went it was like 12:30 when we started getting ready. I think we got out there at 1 and I finished at 3:30. So it was like the hottest part of the day, which I'm from Arizona. Electric Chaos, yes, sorry, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, what would you say 80 degrees, I almost spilled my drink. What would you say 80 degrees Fahrenheit is in Celsius? What's Vincent's from France, my husband, so he should know this off the top of his head.
I should.
It's fine.
I haven't used
Somebody will have to do the
Celsius in
conversion.
forever.
80 degrees, I would describe it, at least in California, I would describe it as like a little too warm to be comfortable in the van in the sun. Like in the sun, the van is too warm. Things get hot really fast if they're sitting in the sun. In the shade, it's tolerable. It's fine, like if there's a fan blowing. I would say 80 degrees is like the hottest it was at like the height of summer in France.
26, 27?
26, 27. It's like hot, but not like unbearable. Like you can still be outside, you're just gonna sweat a little, and you need to wear sunscreen because the sun's really strong here all the time in California because it's a lot closer to the equator. So, you know, it's not great. I wish it was like 5 degrees cooler. When it's 75 and under here in California, it's perfect. 80 is a little bit warm. But I'm from Arizona. So, what is the current temperature today in Arizona is the real question. Let's see. Where my family lives in AZ. Actually, it was 86 today, so it was even warmer. I didn't feel it. We were on the water the hottest part of the day. Yeah, today in Gilbert, Arizona, it was 113. So, I'd still rather be in California. Let's see, where did I put all my junk? Oh, there it is. But yeah, so we get burned, and my whole family is of British, Irish, Scottish, and German descent. So I really like cold, dreary weather and lots of green. I don't know why my family decided it would be a good idea to settle in Arizona in the late 1800s. I don't know why they thought that was a smart thing to do. I don't like it. My mom literally is sick all summer long because it's so hot. She's miserable. So when I turned 18, I pieced out and I moved to New York, which is much closer to, you know, European weather. Even New York is hot now, though. Everywhere's getting hotter all the time, thanks to bad industry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. I have to make sure I'm not wrong. But yeah, actually, California's been the most comfortable summer we've had. Last year, we tried to follow the weather in general. Last year, we were in New York until July, and it was so hot. It was like 85 every day, and it's just concrete, so it felt really hot. There's like no shade. There's no escaping it in the middle of the day. And we were all kind of miserable, us and our cats. So we ended up just following the coast all the way up. We spent a little bit of August in Salem and like in Massachusetts, which is kind of fun. They had all their Halloween stuff coming up. Yeah, we ended up all the way up in Maine, like Portland, Maine is where we spent all of August and almost a little bit of September too, because it was just too hot. Like everyone on the East Coast was so bad last year too, and it was so humid. So this summer has been way more comfortable because I think the temperatures are about the same, only maybe slightly cooler here, but it's way less humid, and we can be on the water during the hottest part of the day. So as long as I'm wearing like sun protection, it feels really good out on the water because it's just pretty cool water all the time. So that's really made a big difference for us, I think. You know what it also is like last year we had to, okay, sorry, I'm going to count this one more time. I know it's so annoying. I just want to make sure I'm not marking off too many stitches because this is the reference point for the rest of my pattern. Also, see, this is why I wanted to do autofocus. I'll figure that out for next time. Or maybe when I have to change the battery out, then I'll figure it out. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, see, I was off by 1. Yeah, I think that the other thing that's made a big difference is last year we had to go to the gym to shower every time, like Planet Fitness membership, which is all over the country here. And so we would just do gym showers. And so it was really hard, like all summer long. The best thing for me when I'm really hot is just to like take a cold shower. That's what we used to do. Like when we were in France, when it got really hot, it got like really hot for a brief moment of time. One of the summers that we were there, the second summer that we were there. And like, I would just do that literally every day. I would just like get home from whatever we were doing and just immediately strip off all my sweaty clothes and jump in the cold shower. Cause you know, France doesn't have AC literally anywhere. So that's how I would manage that. And, I just feel like, how is that? No, this is better. I just feel like now, since we're in the water almost every day and there's the cold beach showers everywhere we go, it's so much easier to just like, if we're hanging out here all day, just go rinse off. You don't have to like go, you know, make the effort of like packing up a gym bag and putting on gym clothes and going to the gym and taking a full shower there and worrying about if anyone's going to steal your stuff. And then it's just like so much easier to just do a quick rinse off around here. So we actually, TBH, since we have cold showers here, and I wash my hair in the sink a lot because we have unlimited water at this park that we're like a state park that we're at. There's like a potable water spout and a dump, so it's great because like we can use unlimited water and just like easily refill it. And so I just like wash my hair in the sink every time after I surf, and I have like the showers out there that I do like a full rinse, and sometimes we bring soap, rarely. So I don't even need to go to like take a big hot shower. I think this summer I've literally gotten like a hot shower at a gym about once a month. Once every 2 or 3 weeks is the most frequent we've done this summer because we're rinsing off every single day, and I can wash my hair as much as I want in the shower or in the sink. So I have been taking advantage of that. I think that's why it's felt so much easier here in California too. Even though it's hot, it just like feels more manageable, maybe is what I'm trying to say. And because we have unlimited water, we can just like refill our ice trays constantly and have unlimited ice, which really helps too. So it's been good. I feel a lot more comfy. Ugh, I hate doing these first stitches. I always have to like triple count because I will mess up, especially if I'm talking. Let's see. 9, 22. Okay. But yeah, so that's what we've been up to. It's mostly just a lot of hanging out in the water, which is so nice because I think that was the other hard thing last year is just like, yeah, we could go to the beach, but like, what are we gonna do at the beach? You know what I mean? As a fair-skinned person, it wasn't like it couldn't like justify going and sitting in the sun for no reason. Like it just felt like, why am I just going to massively raise my chances of skin cancer just to like sit in the sand versus sit in the shade in the car? So I couldn't really justify it. But this year, since I actually have like an activity that I'm doing that I'm enjoying, I feel like it's okay for me to be in the sun. If I'm taking as many precautions as I can, it's kind of like, as much as I care about my skin and my health, I also care about my mental health, and surfing's been so good for my mental health. That's how I justify it, at least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Also, what is everyone working on? Sorry, I've been like talking your ears off, and I didn't even ask what you're doing. Donica, what are you working on? Eclectic, what are you working on? Daniel, what are you working on? I'm assuming programming, because that's what you always work on when you're listening to me talk. Yeah, thanks, Eclectic. I literally, oh my gosh, I've had to like, actually, what is the term? Is it frogging in cross stitch? That's what it is in knitting, and I just realized I've done so much more knitting lately. I don't know if that's the same term in cross stitch. Is it frogging? Anyway, I've had to rip out a lot of stitches just because of little tiny miscounts. And on this pattern that I just did, this one with the ghosts, it like the counting actually really matters because you need like squares, flowers, like they have to be correct. So I had to redo it a few times. It was so annoying. Actually, you're working on epic Pokemon? Cute. Is that are you talking about like that giant pattern that I've seen? Or is this something else entirely that I don't know about? Daniel, you're drawing the title screen of your game? Cute. Friendly reminder, I have a Discord if you want to share project pictures or anything. I started posting on there again. Literally, no one on there is active, so I'm going to remind you so that other people can come and join. Just because it's fun. I think it's fun to be able to see everyone's stuff, because you can see mine, but I can't see yours from here. So, if we have that, then we can all talk about it, which is fun. Nice. Cute. Retro winter sweater? Retro winter sweater? Why does that feel like a tongue twister? Retro winter sweater. Dang, I got like that is a that is a whole journey. That's not a project, that's a journey. You're gonna be a changed person by the end of that. I am excited for you, but also I take it back. Actually, I love long projects. I actually really love them because I like having things where I can just go, 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 and it's like full coverage. I really like full coverage. Which is, I know, ironic because I don't make full coverage, but it's because I make things that people want to buy, and not everyone wants to do giant full coverage pieces like I do. I have one. I have a. Sorry, this is loose. I have the Childless Cat Lady tarot card one that I just finished. That is full coverage. That I think is so cute, and I cannot wait to stitch it. Okay. I can't tell where this is wiggly. I feel like it's as tight as I can make it. That is bothering me that it's wiggle. Oh, I know why. Figured it out. Because this needs to be this way. Sorry. But I don't think I'm brave enough to do 32 pages of pattern. I don't know if I'm brave enough for that, even with my love of full coverage. That's fun though. I think it's super cute. Everyone's finished projects or like in progress projects that I've seen like on the Reddit forums and stuff are so fun. Let's see. Okay, done with this color for now. But yeah, the broom handle is complete. I have to do a bunch of backstitching on this pattern. Bunch is relative. It's a tiny pattern, but I do have to do backstitching. Oops. That's exciting. Oh no. Yeah, that I would have cried too. I just been like, I'm done. I hate this. Oh man. I'm so sorry. That, yeah, I would have cried too. I don't know if I could handle that. Okay, so I'm done with this one for now. I think I'm gonna do one cleaning tool at a time. I'm just gonna finish the whole broom and then I don't have to think about it again. Let's see. Yellow, which yellow? D728. One really fun thing about deciding to do all of my patterns, like stitch all my patterns, is that I now have an excuse to buy all of the colors. I probably had about 100 of like all the DMC colors that like with me, which is my whole collection really. Because I've usually just bought them like when I needed them. So it's like whatever the patterns I was doing, if they required them, then I'd get them. But I haven't, because I haven't made them, I haven't really paid as much attention to thread colors on my patterns that I've made. I haven't like been limited by what I have. I could just make ones that like do ones that I felt like were the best based on like swatches and stuff, and then whatever I did have in stock. But now I get to go through and buy all of them so I can stitch all of them. So now my collection has grown. I bought, Michael's had like a really big sale. It was 40% off everything for Labor Day. So I found out I found out in my purchasing that the limit for Michael's, like buying stuff at Michael's, which Eclectic Michael's is just like a big chain craft store that's all over the US, and it is not the homophobic, very uber Christian one. It's the cool one that we like to support. The other one's Hobby Lobby, and you go in there and there's always like this like weird Christian music playing and a lot of tacky home goods. And the only reason I ever go in there is because they have hand-dyed yarn that Michael's does not have. That is pretty good for the price. If I'm just needing to like do something cheap, I just can't do yarn shops. It's too expensive for my very tight budget. So sometimes I go to Hobby Lobby specifically for that, or for the little needle, or these bags right here, because Hobby Lobby sells these and no one else does. It's like if any other store did, I would be going there. But yeah, Hobby Lobby is the only place that I can buy these little baggies with the 2 holes. There's a bunch of ones on Amazon that have 1 hole, but I've never really been able to find exactly this style anywhere else. So unfortunately, sometimes Hobby Lobby is necessary for me. But Michael's is the cool one that I actually like to support, and they do have really good sales usually. So I did everything 40% off. So I got Found out the limit's 50 items per order. I got, I think I got almost 100 colors for like literally $40 on like over for the Labor Day weekend sale. So that was great. So I like massively, I went through every single pattern that I have and got all of the colors that I needed for all of them, except for the newest ones that I made this year. The Cowless Cat Lady Tarot is like a pretty big pattern with a lot of colors. It's probably my most involved pattern I've done. Oh, I need a new needle. So I didn't get the colors for that one because I just figure I could do that one later. And then the Life is Just a Classroom. I had to wait on that one because I needed to find some blue Ida cloth first. I didn't want to have to stitch the background blue. And then what's the last one? Oh, and then the one that I did most recently, like a few weeks ago, was the like Taylor Swift 7 lyrics. Like Our Love Lasts So Long. It's from Seven. So it's just like a romantic looking tree with flowers and like a swing, and then that has the lyrics. Passed down like folk songs, Our Love Lasts So Long is I think the lyric. Anyway, so I didn't get ones for that because I just figured I could do those later since they are not relevant to holidays and they are newer. They don't have as much of a lifetime on Etsy already, so I'm not as worried about it. Because there's some patterns that I have that I feel like should be selling better just because like they're pop culture relevant, and I know I'm biased, but I think they're really cute. But I think that stitching those is a priority. Anyway, so I did get a ton of threads for most of those projects, which I'm excited about. Especially the Twilight ones. I know that like Twilight isn't everyone's thing, like not everyone's gonna want to stitch something Twilight related, but I think it's very fun, and I have some really cute Twilight patterns. Someone just bought my pattern bundle a few minutes ago back on Etsy. It's $10. Donica, yeah, Joann's does have good coupons also. What I've discovered though is that Joann's has a way smaller selection, at least at the stores that I've been to recently. Like there's been a few times where like Joann's was just what was nearby and Michael's wasn't. So I'd go to Joann's and like they just like they don't have any of like at the ones I've been to at least, they don't have any of like the newer colors, like the ones that are not in the hundreds, like the 1 to 30, 33 or 34, those colors. They don't have them. And I actually needed one for this pattern, in fact, and I couldn't find it. So I had to swap it out for the nearest alternative. But Michael's does have those, as far as I've seen. Maybe I just got lucky with the Michael's I went to the other day, but they have had a little bit more of a selection. Michael's also does have all of the like metallics and jewel tone metallic shiny threads, and a pretty good selection of the satin ones too, which I need for a pattern I'm making right now. It's Taylor Swift Bejeweled lyrics. So I needed like stuff that glitters. Michael's had like every single color that I needed. I got really lucky on that one. Eclectic. See, if I had room for bobbins, I totally would. I think I mentioned this on the last stream or maybe 2 streams ago, but there was a company that sells like a pretty nice looking bobbin set and like storage system on Amazon that reached out and was like wanting to work together. I never ever work with companies. Like I get emails pretty frequently. I never respond usually, but that one I was really tempted by. I just like, I don't have anywhere to put it because I live in a van. So baggies, I can like shove in a bin and squish them. Bobbins, you can't squish as much. So I am stuck with baggies for now, but I'm really feeling like I wish I could use bobbins at the moment, for sure. Ooh, Daniel, I want to see. Heart Tomo. Hi, nice to see you. What are you working on? Yeah, Donica, I feel bad. Like my mom, Joann's always been where my mom goes because she sews. And so like for sure, I think that they have a better selection of fabrics and stuff. Like they're better for sewers than maybe they are for like knitters and stitchers. That's the rub. I just there's like not enough stuff that I need specifically at Joann's. I go there when I can. We went there the other day. I'm kind of feeling like I'm tempted to switch to 3 threads for this. Maybe I won't though. Maybe I'll just deal with it. Well, whatever. I heart. This is my pattern. I am stitching up some of my older like ones I designed last year, but this one's from Hocus Pocus. I'll show you. So it's just like it's Halloween relevant. So I figured it'd be a good time to do it. Let's see. I have it on my iPad. I stitch or I create all my patterns on Stitchly, and I also do like I can check everything off as I go on Stitchly, which is nice. So there it is. It's just like a Hocus Pocus quote. Come we fly, and then it has like the mop and the broom and the vacuum that the Sanderson sisters fly away on. So super basic. It's like 5 inches. It's like a tiny pattern. It's a quick one to stitch up. And it's the season for it, so I figured I'd do it so I could add it to my listing on Etsy. Oh, Donica, that's been my experience too. I feel like they're kind of scary. Like Michael's is all just like young, like a lot of teenagers and like young adults who like don't care about anything and are chill. And like Michael's even now has a lot of them have the self checkout, so like I can literally go in and not talk to anybody, which is like very nice for me. Joann's, it's just a little bit trickier. I know that they just don't have the money to like upgrade their stuff, but I don't know. Maybe that's why they're grumpy. I would be. It's the same reason I think Hobby Lobby employees are grumpy, because they literally have to like manually type in every single item that you're buying and remember all of the discounts. It's like so crazy. iHeart, what are you working on, if anything? Or if you're just hanging out, that's fine too. Switch back. Yeah, I'm tempted to switch to 3 threads, but I also feel like... Okay, I feel like the opinion's divided. Tell me what you think. This is 2 threads. I know on darker threads, obviously it's a lot more obvious, like the density. I feel like some people, like I think some maybe cross-stitch purists are like they feel like I think it's not correct if there's like a gap. But I don't know. It's like the actual little cross, like being able to see little crosses has never bothered me. I think it kind of makes my brain happy to like see all the little crosses in a row. But I don't know if that's incorrect. That's how this one that I did came out. Like, especially the black. I probably should have done 3 threads on the black. I just wasn't that worried about it. I figured like for example photos, it's probably better to be able to see it more clearly anyway. So I just left it. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. But is it wrong? I don't know. So I could redo that brown if maybe it needs to be 3 threads. I like to stitch on 14 count. I just think it's so much easier to see details on a little bit bigger count, especially like I said, if I'm adding these, if I'm like doing these for my Etsy listings and then being able to take like really close up detail shots as part of like my pattern notes and stuff that I can add. I want to be able to like see things a little bit more clearly. So I want to stitch on 14 count, but I don't know. Eclectic, have a good night. That is very late. Thanks for hanging out. Love to see ya. iHeart, you're working on Autumn Stardew Valley pattern. That's very fun. I jumped on the Stardew Valley train very late. I heard so much about it. I started playing video games for the first time like in my life during COVID, because I got really sick with COVID in April of 2020 and spent like 5 weeks in bed. And the only thing that kept me going was playing Minecraft with my little brother Daniel, who's on this chat right now. He taught me how to play Minecraft, and I would just lay in bed and play Minecraft for hours and hours during those sad shut-in days. But then I moved on to like all the PS4 games. I love a lot of the PS4 games. I think Vincent, would you say I'm a decent video game player at this point?
Oh yeah.
I feel like I've got pretty good reflexes. Like I'm pretty proud of myself. I think I've got it. I got it handled. You know, I played a lot of like God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn are my faves, so I like really learned combat. And I finished Hogwarts Legacy. I still need to do some of the side quests, but I finished that earlier this year and I loved it so much. So anyway, I skipped over to kind of like the big console games. And Minecraft was like a thing that I did constantly. I used to play on one of like the big like million follower YouTube Hermitcraft channels. I used to play on one of their private servers with like a bunch of other adults. Oh, Daniel, I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched the movie trailer, so I couldn't tell you. But yeah, so like I just computer games, like I kind of just skipped over that. We even got a Nintendo Switch like for my birthday that year in 2020. My birthday's the end of June, so I even got like I got the Animal Crossing Nintendo Switch, which is so cute, and I'm so glad I bought it. But Animal Crossing, I like never quite could get into as much. I kind of struggled with it. I played it enough to like understand it. It just like didn't love it, love it. I just loved Minecraft too much, I think. Animal Crossing felt a little bit too restricted, maybe. So I thought that Stardew Valley would be the same. This is a very roundabout way to get to Stardew Valley. Anyway, so I never really gave it a chance until this year, because we were in Utah and like for the first part of this year, for about a month, like February to when did we leave Utah? We were there I think we were there for March is how long we were there. And my cousins in Utah who have a couple kids, like they play Minecraft, or not Minecraft, they play Stardew Valley like religiously. Like they have their own server with their like in-laws, their friends. So I watched them play it and I was like, okay, maybe this is fun. If you can have a server like in Minecraft, maybe it could be fun. So then I downloaded it. And then how much did I play Stardew Valley, Vincent? I spent so many hours. I should probably look at my Steam. I could tell you how many hours I've spent playing Stardew Valley this year. I was like, why did I wait? Like, it's so fun. I love it, actually. It's so fun. So, I want to see your pattern. You should share it in the Discord. Ah, Daniel, that looks really good. So Daniel, my brother, is designing... He's programming a video game. He's been programming it since the beginning of this year, so I kind of watched the early stages of it, but all of his own art and all of his own music. And rumor has it, he's in college now. This is his first year in college, and his professors are flabbergasted and very impressed, according to my mother, about what he's designed and what he's creating. So it's been fun to watch it evolve. But Daniel, that looks really good. You know, so the game that he's making is very, like... What would the style be called, Daniel? 8-bit? Like pixely? I don't know old video game terms. It's kind of retro looking, but I feel like this is basically a cross-stitch pattern. It's pixel art. It's a cross-stitch pattern. You could be designing cross-stitch patterns. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, I'm getting texts from my family. Let's just look really fast. Also, someone tell me if I'm wrong for only doing 2 strands and being able to see my crosses. No one told me if it's right or wrong. I need to know. Okay, it's just family text messages. It's about the December get-together. I have a family. I have like my dad's family is from all over the country. Some of them are in Ohio. Some of them are here in California. Some of them are in Phoenix now. They've like retired there. Some are in Flagstaff. Some of them are in Minnesota. So they do like one get together a year, and it's usually at the beginning of December, like kind of the holidays, but far enough away that everyone that's doing stuff with their own families, like it doesn't interfere. I think that we'll be there for that, but they're just talking about it. And I'm missing out. Just kidding. It's a bunch of like people a lot older than me, all my aunts and uncles. I think they just shared a picture of the sunset and they're like, wow, gorgeous, you know, as older people do in text exchanges. Daniel, TBH, I knew that there was a Minecraft movie coming, but I didn't even know that there had been any more announcements about it. So I'm gonna look it up. Let's see. Let's see what there's to see in regards to the Minecraft. Are we excited for it? I don't know. I kind of feel like the Minecraft dungeons, is that what it's called? Anyway, that game is like already kind of, it's not dungeons, it's something else. Is it dungeons? Now I'm questioning everything. Jack Black. Yeah, this looks fun. I'm down to I'm down to try anything, and Minecraft has such intense nostalgia for me. I think just because it's tied to such like a difficult part of our life, like COVID was really hard, and it like Minecraft and crafting streams really got me through all of that. So I'd probably like it just because of the nostalgia of it. If that makes sense. Ugh, I have like a blister. Ow. Also, and everyone, if this music is annoying, let me know. I can change it. I put on like indie folk without like only instrumentals. I use Epidemic Sound, which is like the music platform I already pay for all of my YouTube videos, because it's like, you know, like a subscription, like copyrights included. So I won't get copyright struck in my live streams, but that means that it's not like recognizable music. Some of it might be, actually. I think that a lot of people use Epidemic Sound at this point. I got on board when it was a tiny little Swedish company. Now it's huge. But sometimes things get weird. Or if it's too loud or soft, obviously, I can fix that too. I can only hear it through the computer on my end, and I can't hear exactly the same volume that you are hearing, is what I'm told by my husband. What are you playing?
XCOM 2.
XCOM 2?
Mm-hmm.
Is it on PS4 or your computer?
That's on the Switch.
Oh, on the Switch.
I mean,
Oh, he has it on the TV, so. Tricky.
It's adapted for Switch, but it's not made for Switch.
Okay. Well, fun. Your game looks good, Danny. I'm excited for you. Daniel, have you figured out how to like make it so that other people can play it? Because I feel like, I know that was the thing. Like you could only play it on your computer and couldn't like really play it with, like online with where other people could like download it and play it as easily. Because it's just programmed. Have you ever figured that out, or is that still an issue? I gotta say, I actually haven't played video games in a while. Now that I'm talking about them, I kind of miss them. I still need to I'm a completionist. I still need to do the rest of the little things in Hogwarts Legacy. But otherwise I need to start a new game. We downloaded, which Fallout do we have now?
Which Fallout?
Yeah.
Fallout 4.
Fallout 4. We have Fallout 4, which is on my list to start, because I watched Fallout, what is it, on Amazon Prime? It's so good. I loved the TV show, so I was like, well, right up my alley with spooky, scary creatures in a post-apocalyptic world. So fun. So now I need to play the game. I think maybe starting something like that feels hard because I just don't have as much time as I used to have. Because when I was playing a lot of games, I still had a day job and wasn't my own boss. I'm a hard boss. I have a hard time getting to work because there's no one to guilt me into doing it. Like I'm a people pleaser. There's no one to tell me that I have to do it. But then once I'm working, it's really hard for me to stop. I think that's on having an ADHD brain. Like there's some weeks where I'll work like 25 or 30 hours a week and feel so guilty. And then there's like other weeks where I'll work 60 hours a week and be like, I didn't get it all done. So that's my endless struggle. GameWorks. Oh. I feel like I missed all the retro stuff. So it's like, I know what you're talking about. I just don't have any memories around it, which kind of makes me sad. Because, man, I missed out. We did have, growing up, we had, what did we have? We had a Sega Dreamcast, which I have very fond memories of. I actually had Vincent find it and download it. It's Crazy Taxi. Do we still have that?
Yeah, we do.
Is it on my computer or is it on the PS4? I can't remember. Where can I play it? I think it was on the computer.
Yeah, it's an emulator thing.
It's an emulator. Crazy Taxi, I still love so much. Like, Crazy Taxi. I can hear it in my brain. And all of the punk rock. Oh, so fun. So I played Sega Dreamcast a lot. We had like the Disney, like the Magic Kingdom Raceway thing too that was really fun to play. But that was the extent besides, and then I had a Game Boy Color. So I had little tiny games too. But on Game Boy Color, I had Pokemon Blue, I had Zelda, and then I mostly played Tetris. I'm very good at Tetris. I think my marathon score was like in the 220,000s. It was pretty high. I was a big Tetriser. That was like my Game Boy Color I used to bring on all of my plane rides, so I would just have lots of time to play. But oh shoot, actually I don't need to be doing this. But that was all I played as a little kid. So like all the ones that were actually really big and like all the memories that people have around like especially community video game playing, I just like missed out on. I didn't have any experience with it. I just played whatever my stepdad had on hand. Because my dad can't even use a computer, so he wasn't playing video games with us. My grandma is actually the one that introduced us to Game Boy. She loved Game Boy, and she was like the cool grandma that had every new Game Boy that came out, she would buy it. So I think she's the reason that we got Game Boy Colors when me and my sister when we were really little. Because we already played them at her house, and my parents knew that we liked them. But just never continued after that. I think I got into crafting, to be honest. I think if I hadn't had crafting, I probably would have played more video games. But I just got really I got into sewing when I was little, but then I really got into crochet and a little bit of embroidery. Mostly crochet when I was little, though. I crocheted constantly. I made so many things. And then I took all the art classes, so then I was actually doing fine art also, like painting and drawing and stuff. So that, I think, fed me. And then I think the difference is when you have to buy all of your own stuff. As an adult, video games suddenly seem really appealing because it's a lot of hours you can put into a very small cost to start. Hobbies as an adult are so expensive. Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Centipede, Frogger, Galaga, Space Invaders. Classics. Classics. We had a little Atari, thing with a little controller. Daniel, Mom and Dad probably still have it. It's probably at the house. But we used to play some of those on, our little Atari thing. I don't remember what it's called. It was literally just, a box with, a little joystick. That was it. So you plug it into the TV, and then you just, pick what you want to play. Hi, Emily. Nice to see you. Well, you're welcome to join, whether you're doing a craft or not. All crafts are welcome, is what I always say, because I'm not always doing cross stitch either. I think the first stream that I had back after a while was knitting, which I'm still tempted to switch to at some point, because I'm kind of getting into the fun part of the cardigan I'm knitting. I had 4.5 inches of ribbing, which is incredibly... I'm a English style knitter, which means that ribbing is a little bit harder. It's not as convenient to do. So I got so fed up with it that I learned a new way to do ribbing for this cardigan. So it's been not fun because I've been having to learn a new stitching style just to do it. So I'm really ready to move on to the fun cable knit part. So I might switch to knitting after a while here. But you can also just hang out and chat. Yeah, Atari was so fun. That was what we were raised on. And then my stepdad also he had a few other really fun, he had all the PS versions as they were released, really. So, but he had all of the Uncharted games is what he would like to play. So we would go in and sit on my parents' bed and watch him play all the Uncharted games, which I loved watching him play them. And then we have Uncharted now, on our PS4, and I tried to play it and I hated it. I realized I really only like super open world games or super analog games. Minecraft, for instance, is, you know, totally open world, do whatever you want, be as creative as you want. So are games like, I think like Horizon Zero Dawn, you can literally go anywhere on the entire map. Same thing with Hogwarts Legacy, like so much to explore. God of War, like at least the fourth one, that's the one I struggled with a little bit because it's a little bit like you can't go anywhere. Like I can see this cool thing I want to go look at and I can't go there, and that like bothers me. And Uncharted, same thing with The Last of Us. I can't play The Last of Us either because it's like I just like I don't want you to lead me. I want to figure it out. I think that it just like it's really boring to me and not like more frustrating because it's like I feel like I'm like missing something that I'm supposed to understand. And if I like can't make my way around and like struggling with it, then I just feel dumb and like frustrated. I know it's silly, but so I need really open world or games like Stardew Valley or like games where it like feels like there are very specific rules. Like the seasons, you can only do certain things in those seasons. There's certain hours that you have to get them done, and then it's like a different kind of challenge. It's kind of fun. Nintendo was mainly mine. Atari, we just had that one like fun joystick thing. The rest of what I did up until my mom married my stepdad when I was 9, and that was when I got introduced to like video games, like the Sega Dreamcast and the PS. I went on. Was it the 1 or the 2 at that point? I think it might have been the 1 still. That was 2004. It's probably the 1 that came out around that time. That was when I got introduced to all of those because they didn't. Like my parents didn't. None of them played anything. My mom was like a music choir teacher, and my dad was a drama teacher at the same high school. And then when they got divorced, my mom had to leave that job because everyone loved my dad and told her if she didn't quit, they'd fire her. So she left. But so my childhood was mostly spent on like musical theater. I'm not a performer really. I was in Les Mis. I was Little Eponine. My sister was Little Cosette because she had a singing voice. So she did Cosette, Castle on a Cloud, and I just served everyone in the tavern drinks while they sang Master of the House. But that was as far as my theater experience went for like performing. Oh, actually, you know what? That is a lie because I played flute. I was actually a really good flautist. I made it to All-State a few years in a row. I think I was second or third chair flute. And then in junior high, I still did flute and piccolo and oboe for little things that my band teacher needed. Little specific moments in songs where no one else played oboe in our band. Anyway, so I did music, and I did play flute in Music Man. We're all marching around. I was in my little band uniform. So yeah, like a lot of my childhood was like spent on physical stuff. We really weren't into technology at my house. My parents gave me their little Nokia phone, so I'd play Snake, and then I got a Game Boy Color at some point. But otherwise, I did like painting and drawing and sewing and embroidery and cross stitch and music. And then my mom is super creative, so she's always doing projects, and she had a little boutique-y, like, it's called Patio Wax Studio. She used to like do really scrappy looking stuff, like cute like lettering and things on fun different kinds of bags and shirts and stuff that she'd sell at like craft fairs for a little bit. So I would like go help her with that. Yeah, I just like didn't do anything digital. I don't think I missed it at the time. I read a ton. I was a huge reader. I still am a big reader. Me and my sister both read a lot. Speaking of which, anyone read any good books lately? Because I am reading fan fiction right now, and I'm ready to jump into like a book. And I'm a little overwhelmed by my own like want to read list, so sometimes I like just getting recommendations from someone for things that they say are good. I think I'm gonna start. There's a book called Pretty Girls. It's like a thriller that my sister said she liked. Let me look it up. I'll tell you what it's about. It's on Kindle Unlimited right now, so I have it on my Kindle currently. It did look good. The fan fiction. You'll never guess the fan fiction I'm currently reading. You'll never guess. I want you to guess. Guess the subject of the fan fiction I'm reading. Bet you can't. Let me see. Pretty Girls Singing's good though. I think Colette said it like really, my sister, she said it like really stuck with her. 20 years ago, Claire Scott's eldest sister Julia went missing. No one knew where she went. No note, no body. It was a mystery that was never solved, and it tore her family apart. Now another girl has disappeared with chilling echoes of the past, and it seems she might not be the only one. Claire is convinced Julia's disappearance is linked. But when she begins to learn the truth about her sister, she's confronted with a shocking discovery, and nothing will ever be the same. Danica, you nailed it! Twilight. I'm actually reading 2 fanfictions because I started one that was 946,000 words, which equals more than 3,000 pages. And I was like, I am insane. And also, it's a fanfiction from literally 2004, which means that it's like kind of ridiculous and over the top. It's if you want to hear about it, I'll tell you about it. But I don't want to launch into the plot of this 2-decade-old fanfiction unless you want to hear about it. The other one I'm reading is a current one that's actually currently being worked on. That's the same length as the original books, and it's someone rewriting the books, just making them like more fun. Like, I'm enjoying it. I'm like almost halfway through the Twilight like rework, and the author's in the middle of releasing through Eclipse. Like, she's working on Eclipse right now. I'm assuming it's a she. I actually don't know because, you know, fanfiction's usually anonymous. But I actually think it's fun because it's like it's the same basic. It's like the same main story plots or story beats, but like it's a lot more. I think it's a lot more. There's a lot more foreshadowing, which Twilight is sorely lacking especially in the first one. It's just kind of like Bella notices some weird things about Edward, and then Edward decides he can't stay away from her. Bella, like, figures out what Edward is. Oops. They have a discussion about it. They start to, like, quote-unquote date. And then immediately the baseball scene happens, and we get introduced to some random bad guys that we basically hadn't heard about at all. And then from there, the whole fight sequence happens, and Bella almost dies, and then that's the end of the book. It's, like, so kind of sterile feeling. I think the reason that it works and the reason it was so famous is just because it's told narratively, like it's from inside Bella's head. So you feel like all the emotional stuff that she's feeling, which makes it seem like a lot more is going on than is actually going on. So in this like Twilight rewrite, it's actually like Bella has a whole personality, and she does art and like has a lot more opinions, and Edward also has a lot more opinions. Like, instead of being so stoic, like he'll get really excited about music and like start to talk too much, and like it'll be so cute. Like, it's kind of fun. And then like from the beginning, like Alice keeps getting involved. Like the scene in Twilight where like Bella is like almost crushed by the truck. In this one, like Alice sees it happening and like kind of approaches Bella sneakily in the girls' bathroom and is like, you should skip gym today, to try to like get her like change the timing of it so that Bella can avoid getting smashed by the truck. But then it happens anyway, and so then Emmett and Rosalie and Edward are all like annoyed at Alice, and Alice is like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have tried to mess with things. Like, it's just like there's like way more happening, which is I think is way more fun. So I'm enjoying that one. That's the normal 300-page like Twilight fanfic. The other one is called Emancipation Proclamation, which is kind of funny because like Vincent, I convinced Vincent to listen to Manacled, which you liked it.
I liked it.
I think he wanted a little more romance than there was, because I had also just read the Right and Wrongs trilogy, which is another Hermione and Draco
I love
fanfic.
romance.
He does love romance. He loves Sarah J. Maas. So.
Can you believe it? I went from like, no, I want sci-fi, I want fantasy, to like,
Yeah.
where's the romance?
In the same week, he'll like be listening to like obscure Foundation books and Dune books, and then also like listening to ACOTAR. I love that for you, Vince. But anyway, so I just finished the Right and Wrongs trilogy, which is another Hermione. It's like actually I think Rights and Wrongs is better than Manacled, and I don't know why. I don't understand. I understand that Manacled is like amazing because of the twists and turns and like the emotional development. I get it, but also it's just kind of a bummer to read. I'm sorry if you have no idea what I'm talking about. It's Manacled is literally like probably the most famous fan fiction on Book Talk right now. Everyone's like it's kind of like everyone's gateway drug into fan fiction, and it was mine for sure. But it's very, very dark. And it's basically like Hermione, like Voldemort wins and Hermione's sold into slavery to, not sold into slavery. Like they become, it's like a Handmaid's Tale kind of a vibe. She ends up with Draco. But Rights and Wrongs, they actually have like a slave trade that happens like also in the alternate universe called The Auction is the alternate universe version of the one book of the trilogy. So also Hermione's enslaved. The other two books are like in the world where Harry wins, and it's from Hermione's perspective, and it's from Draco's perspective, and it's the same love story where like Hermione helps Draco get out of prison because it's the right thing to do, and Draco's like struggling with things, but like Narcissa, his mom is there, and like Lucius is imprisoned, so it's like Lucius, so it's like I think it's very charming. It's a very fun love story. So anyway, it's kind of funny because I told Vincent about all of like The Auction. And then I convinced Vincent to read Manacled. And so then I started Emancipation Proclamation, which is also Bella is part of the like modern slave trade in the US is like how the story starts. And he's like, do you just love like is it just your like your kink or something? Is like slavery? I was like, no, I'm sorry.
Looks suspicious.
I don't know what to tell you. It's just how it's turned out. So Emancipation Proclamation kind of makes me laugh just because it's like it's also very overdone. Like it's one of those things where like the author tells you like every single detail of every single thing that's happening. Like, oh man, after reading that and then like reading other books, I'm like, man, it's too much. It's overdone. So I've been liking taking a break from that too. That's the 946,000 word one. And they're not vampires. They're part of the Italian mafia, and their mom was killed like or before we meet them, and it's like the three brothers, like Edward, Jasper, and Emmett, and then like Carlisle, their dad, who's like a mob boss and he has to go to like Chicago all the time, so they're trying to have like a quiet life in Washington for the boys to like finish high school, and then they need help at the house, and so like Carlisle literally buys Bella at 16 years old, and that's literally how the story starts. It is wild. I can't even, it's so wild. So yeah, that's that one. I have not finished it yet. I think it's going to be slow going for me. So I need books that are not 3,000 words or 3,000 pages. Thank you. Because it's a little much TBH. I'm a little overwhelmed by it, actually. I think that maybe like the Twilight, because the Twilight fan fictions are just so much older, like at least that one is. A lot of them, like the Twilight like heyday, you know, was when the movies were coming out in the early 2000s. So I think I can really tell the difference in like writing quality just because they're older. And like fan fiction obviously was still big back then, but it wasn't nearly as big as it is now. So I think that there just like wasn't the same level of scrutiny and level of like dedication to craft that there is now, and you can tell. So like a lot of the fan fictions that I've read more recently, I like a lot more. Honestly. Earl, did you sneeze? You're just sitting at the window sneezing. Are you okay? Anywho, I asked if you wanted to hear it, and then nobody responded, so I just told you anyway. It's your own fault. You should have said something if you didn't want to hear it. Earl, come here. Oh, let's say hello. Say hello. Look at his face. You're so cute, though. Don't worry, I don't torture my cat. He just hates being messed with. He pretends like he hates it, and then he literally just wants to lay on me all day long, actually.
Earl, you gremlin.
He just likes to do it on his own terms and not when I tell him to. He's like, get me away. He ran for it.
However, Goose.
Yeah, Goosey's back there. Goose doesn't care about anything. He's the easiest cat ever.
Do you want a treat?
Oh
Little
no.
treat.
We're gonna have a cameo with the cats. Here they come. He's gonna come barreling up as soon as he hears the treat bag open. He's not gonna do it till then because he's much too
but now
lazy.
he's just like,
He's like, I don't know. I think I heard the word that I wanted you to say, but I'm gonna wait until I smell it. Let's see. Here he comes. Push the pillow over. Here. There's your view. That's the cap. Goose Goose. You want a treat?
sit. Sit.
Oh. These treats are just freeze-dried minnows and they're so disgusting and they smell like fish. They're big enough that the cats have to eat them in 2 bites. So you just have we just watch them crunch on minnows. Goosey, does he not want a treat?
No, it's just for some reason, it's just I don't believe it. Until you shake the bag next
Here.
to my hand.
Hand one to me. Come here, Goose Goose. This is what they look like. They're so gross. Goosey, over here. Hey, look. It's right here. Come on, Goose Goose. I literally put it in your face. Come on. Come on.
What a dummy.
Come on. He doesn't know where to go. You're so silly. Come here. Come here. You're so close. It's right here. I'm tricking you into a cameo. Good boy. Ew. Delicious. Oh, he drooled. Here, take it. There. You can have it. Take a bite. Nasty. But he loves them. Goose.
So lazy.
He's so... I think maybe he's not sold on it. I don't know why he's not that interested in them tonight. We have them in that Ziploc bag because we left the bag out literally, I don't know, 5 minutes. Vincent fed them treats and then we just needed to drive somewhere. And we literally were about to drive and we heard it. We heard them getting into it. So
Oops.
we had to go run back and snatch the bag out of Goose's little mouth. So now they're in a Ziploc bag because he had already torn into it so freaking fast. It's because he's really smart and he gets bored and he loves a challenge, so. Sneaking into a treat bag? Yes, please. Best day of his life. There's one time when we were living at my grandma's house where, I'm gonna scoot this closer again. There's one time we were living at my grandma's house where the laundry room is where we kept all their stuff because usually the laundry room door would be closed. And one time Earl snuck... Was it Earl or Goose? I actually can't remember. I think it might have been. I think it was Earl. Anyway, one of them snuck in there because they are cats. And no, we didn't know. My grandma shut the door. And they were in... I don't know. I don't know how long it was. It was probably 30 minutes, an hour maybe. It wasn't a long time. But by the time... Ew, this is... Can you take this away? This is gross. By the time that we got them out, they'd already turned into all of the treat bags. Every single one. It was the best day of their life. They just went crazy and just stole all the treats while trapped in the laundry room. Didn't make a sound. We're so quiet. Could not be happier to be locked in a room with treats. But it's never happened again, because usually we're very careful, and it's usually just us two. A lot of the PetSmarts around here do, the rescue thing with, they always have, cats at the adoption center, which I really appreciate. I know PetSmart's not, amazing, but I just appreciate, exposure for a little cats that need rescuing. But a lot of rescues around here do weekend adoption events at PetSmart. So whenever we go buy food, there's so many cute kittens and cats. There was one at the PetSmart that we went to here in Dana Point. They had a lot of kittens because it's, the end of kitten season. But there was one that was so crazy. She was just is a girl. She was so tiny, probably barely 8 weeks old, and like like a little fluff ball, you know, and they just have like all of their little hair sticking out everywhere. And she was like a really dark chocolate brown, like a beautiful little cat. And she was like desperate to be touched and held. It's so hard to resist when they're like that. That's like one thing I really want to do is rescuing and fostering. Maybe not like run a rescue, but like do the fostering part of it. I think it would be nice to have space in a house to like do that. And if we ever have kids, then like that's a fun thing to do with them too. I think it's a good way to like foster community, like being part of a community and like learning compassion. I think that it's a good thing. Let's see. Oh man. See, I messed this up. I miscounted. I have to undo it. I missed a whole little level down that I needed to do. 3 of your kids were adopted from PetSmart. I think it's great. I know like PetSmart, the company, isn't like amazing. Like I don't appreciate how like a lot of like the betta fish and some of the like reptiles and stuff, I just kind of like feel bad for how they're treated. I think that they don't get like the best care there because people that work there just like aren't all experts in taking care of like those more like kind of exotic kind of animals. But I really love the partnering that they do with local rescues. And I really love that they have that adoption area that's, I mean, it's rare that I'm in a PetSmart where the adoption area is empty. Like, I feel like they do a really good job keeping that area full, and it is such good exposure for, like, little kittens that need, and older cats, really all cats, that, like, need rescuing. So I do appreciate that for sure. I have no problem with that part of it, because it's not even PetSmart doing it, it's the rescue that's doing it anyway. And Donica, I didn't know you had 6 cats. That is a lot. I feel like sometimes we have a hard time with how expensive our cats are. I can't imagine timesing that by 3. We like already struggle sometimes because we do feed them well. Like that's important to me. But sometimes it's like a little painful. So you are a hero. I guess I'm lucky that I live in a van because I literally can't adopt more cats because those adoption weekends where they just are all in these cages and they're all just, ugh. I would probably have so many more cats than I do also. More of my family liking and talking about how beautiful the sunset picture is at one of my aunts. I love old people online. They're so cute. My aunts are great, actually. I do love them. Turn the computer or camera back on. It turns off every like half an hour or something, I think. Hour? Yeah. Like our cats, luckily they can share a litter box. We just got lucky with that. I think just because they're litter mates. They've just never known anything else. We've only ever had one litter box because the biggest space we've lived in is 600 square feet. Besides when we lived with my grandma, but that was a whole different issue where they were in our room a lot. We just had to like corral them sometimes because people would come over to my grandma's house and it was people who don't know how to treat cats. So we would just stick them in our room for safety. Anyway, so they've only ever had one. I wonder if it would make a difference if they had the luxury of multiple, but I know you really can't do more than 2 cats in one litter box. So that is a lot of litter. I love that. Ours hit 3 years in June, which is so crazy. I feel like they're still kittens, but they're like not. They're just cats now. They're just big ass cats. They're big too. Goose is 16 pounds and Earl's 15 pounds. The vet says Goose should lose weight, but we monitor his food. We like limit how much he eats. And we feed them separately. So like we know that he's not like overeating. He just literally will not exercise. Like he just does not want to move. He wants to sleep all day. He wants, he likes to go out on the leash, like Earl does, but when he goes out on the leash, he just literally wants to roll around. At this park, there's a whole bunch of, like, California ground squirrels, so he will chase the squirrels and the bunnies a little bit, but it's, like, impossible. We put on the leash, he goes to, like, the nearest grass or dirt and just, like, rolls around in it, and that's all we can get him to do. We cannot get him to walk. Like, Earl will totally, like, walk down the sidewalk and, like, explore, like, the perimeter of like a big grassy field or whatever, and then run around and chase things. Like he's good. He likes to get out and explore, but like Goose, impossible. And when we play, he is not interested in chasing anything. The most he'll do is like wait and then like pounce and then roll over on his belly and just like just bat at it. We can't get him to like run around or jump up and down on things to like get some exercise. He just won't do it. So we just try to control his food. And every year the vet tells us that he needs to lose weight. And I'm like, you got any ideas? I can't starve him. Like I can't feed him less than he needs. I think he's probably like a pound or two overweight because Earl's also 15 pounds and is very lean. And Goose is just as like big as Earl, like as far as his bone structure. Like he's not a smaller cat. He actually was the bigger one when they were kittens. Earl was taller, but Goose was always bigger and heavier as kittens too. So anyway, that's our struggle with him. They're just giant. That's the first thing, like, anytime we show them to people, which we do a lot, because people are always, like, once they learn we live in a van, they're always like, you have cats in the van? And then they always want to meet them, which is cool. We love finding cat people, but, like, that's the first thing everyone always says is, like, those cats are huge! I know. I feel like we did feed them really high-quality food when they were kittens, because they were normal-sized kittens. We did feed them really high-quality food, but I just feel like that's the only thing that we might have done differently, like for like other rescue cats that like weren't raised in the same kind of environment. I feel like that's like the only thing that could be different about them is that they got a little bit more high quality food. They're just huge. Two. It was 2, 2, 3, 4, not 2, 3, 4. Read my pattern that I have wrong. But yeah, it's super funny. They're kind of closer to dog size than cat size sometimes. Especially Earl, he's so freaking tall. Someone's lighting up in the parking lot, I can smell it. Weed's legal here. Ironically, weed is very legal here, and shrooms is very not legal here. For how progressive California is, that was surprising to us. It's random. Okay, I gotta work my way up and fix this. 2, 2. Oh, actually, not that. I'm wrong again. Let's see. I think this playlist is good, right? This is good music. It's feeling kind of acoustic, which is kind of uncommon for me. I usually do like retro wave or synth wave or lo-fi. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, we're on the right track, everybody. We fixed it. There, we need to add 2 more rows. Two, 2, 3. I'm just gonna make that line now so that I don't mess it up again. And I'll just fill it in, even though it'll be a little less neat looking on the tension side. I'm trying to think of what else is new. Vince, are we seeing any movies this week? Can't hear me.
Hmm?
Are we seeing any movies this week? Or are there any movies coming up that we wanted to see? What movies have we wanted? I feel like we've seen a few movie trailers that we were interested in.
There are a few on the second half of September that we can watch. Check.
Yeah. I'm gonna look it up right now because we see a lot of movies and it's fun to talk about movies. The last one that we saw was... I can't even remember. We see so many, I forget which order we saw them in. But we have the AMC A-list. So we do, like... We go to movies almost every week. It's just the same as it was in New York. We just still have it. Oh, Afraid, like the AI, new AI horror one I wanted to see.
Yeah,
That one looked fun. Blink Twice we just saw, we liked. Oh, and we saw The Crow. That was the one that we most recently saw. It was as bad as everyone said. I wouldn't recommend. If you have to spend money to see the movie in theaters, don't see that one. It's really bad. I saw like the... Ugh, Vince, there's like bugs flying around. I'm sorry, friend. I feel bad killing you, but you're flying in my face. I try to rescue bugs where I can, but that one's just not gonna. It's not gonna work. I don't know where it fell though. Now it's just next to my bed somewhere. Anywho, I never saw the original The Crow, so. But Vincent, did you see the original The Crow? Okay, he didn't see it either. We just knew about it because it's based on like what, a graphic novel?
It's based on a graphic novel, but it's a film classic. Like the 1994, I think, version.
I think it was 1990. Is it 2 or 4? I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, you're right. In the early 90s. So we had already heard that it was like a really crappy movie, but we figured we'd see it anyway, because why not? It was the only thing out at the time. And it was just as crappy as everyone said. It was very disjointed, and once we read a little bit more about the source material, they like really did a bad job with it. Like it's not good. Yes, we did see Trap. I actually really liked it. I feel like, you know, M. Night Shyamalan is very hit or miss. Like, you never quite know what you're gonna get with him. Some of his stuff is great and some of it isn't. We did think it was very funny. We still talk about how funny it is that, like, it was his, I think it's his daughter? Niece? Vince? Anyway, daughter or niece, I can't remember who, that is, like, the singer in Trap. So it's like she's launching her music career a little bit using his movie. It's kind of funny. But I actually really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was one of the better movies of his that have come out recently. I was telling Vincent, like, after we saw it on the drive home, I was like, the thing with him and his movies is, like, they're always entertaining. Like, even if they are not great, like, even if I don't love them, or, like, if the twist at the end, like, doesn't make sense, I still, like, enjoy the ride, if that makes sense. Like, it's always interesting, and, like, the movie itself is, like, fun to watch. Was The Strangers by him, too? Let me look that up. I actually loved that movie. Let me see. 2024. Because we saw that one really recently, and I really liked that one. The Watchers, not The Strangers. Sorry, I'm dumb. Let's see. I was like, that's not right. Let's see. Was it? Yeah, it was directed by him too. I really liked The Watchers actually also. And I thought that, like, the way that it ended was, like, very fun. I love the idea it could be out in the world. Like, I love leaving things like that, and which he often does. So that was the other one that we saw recently of his that we liked too. But yeah, The Trap was great. I thought it was fun. I liked the twisty ending. The only thing like I said was funny was, like, the music career part. Yes, I really want to see Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice, for sure. I love Winona Ryder. I always have, so I'll see anything that she's in, really. So yeah, The Crow sucked. It was so... The whole thing is supposed to be about romance, and it was so devoid of any real romance. Like, it... Oh my gosh. The action sequences were really fun, I think. Like, there's, like, some really good, like, fight sequences. They're incredibly gory, so you have to be okay with that. But, they were entertaining. I thought the music was good. The costuming was really fun. But so many shots of him walking down the alley angrily. And, like, so many replayed shots of, like, their romance that actually just looks like two people spending a weekend together and not, like, so deep love that, like, you're willing to sell your soul for it, which is, like, what the whole point is. So that was kind of odd. I didn't love it because I was confused. What else did we see? We saw Blink twice before we saw The Crow, which we really loved. I loved Blink twice, actually. I think the story was, like, pedestrian. Like, it was kind of predictable, except for a few little twists. But Zoe Kravitz really killed the directing, the styling, the cinematography, the music. I thought it was beautifully shot. The color grading was, like, it was, like, a really beautiful film. And it felt really intentional in, like, its design. So I really appreciated that about it. It's definitely worth the watch. And Channing Tatum actually is great. Like, he's always great. I don't think he's necessarily an underrated actor, but I think maybe his, like, ability to play hard roles might be a little bit underrated because he's just been, like, the goofy jockhead so many times. But he killed that role. There's this one scene where, like, it's a single shot of him just, like, saying I'm sorry over and over, and it, like, starts you know, with him kind of doing it sarcastically until it just like he just says it over and over and it starts to escalate until he's just like screaming with tears running down his face. And it's like, oh, it's very good. So Blink Twice we really liked. It was very fun. What else? What else did we see? Oh, and then before that was Alien Romulus. I love Alien. Love it. It's probably one of my favorite. That and Godzilla are my favorite franchises, I think. Is that lame? I don't know. I know that they are controversial and everyone has a lot of opinions, but I love them. I think they're great. So Alien Romulus is my favorite installment in a while. I actually really like Prometheus too. Prometheus also, I mean. And this one kind of, I think there were some fun little Easter eggs that kind of tied it all in together. And there was a very Ripley styled, like, main, like, female lead character, which was really fun. So I liked it. I thought it was great. I also think that, like, the guy that played the main, like, android robot in Alien Romulus was such a good actor. Like, he killed it. And I don't know if anyone's talking about it because I haven't looked at any of the reviews, but he really killed it. I thought he was so good. At being first a broken android and then a android at peak performance. Like, I feel like that's really hard to do. He really killed it. So I really enjoyed Alien Romulus. You have to go into it expecting everyone's gonna make stupid choices and die. So if you go into it expecting that, then Alien's great. And then before that we saw Cuckoo, which I also really loved. Hunter, what's her name? Hunter from Euphoria. She's the lead. And she's great too.
Wait, is that it?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
from Euphoria. Yeah. Cuckoo is wacky. It's wacky horror. I really enjoyed it. There's some scenes that like really haunted us, like really scary, but also it's just a fun, quirky little.
I didn't recognize her.
Really? She's the lead. You have to look at her face a million times. Yeah, we liked Cuckoo also. Then I think before that, every other movie we saw is kind of irrelevant because I don't know if they're in theaters anymore. There were some bad movies that we saw that we were like, what the heck? That we did not love. Let me see. Let's do past 90 days on my AMC and see if there's any other ones that are worth talking about. Yeah, so before Cuckoo was Trap. Before Trap was Twisters. I enjoy Twisters. I really like Twisters, like the original ones I loved. So the newer ones are fine too. Before that was Deadpool and Wolverine, and that one was so good. I wasn't really sure what to expect. I'm not like a Deadpool purist, but like I actually loved it. I thought it was so fun. They really killed it. It was very entertaining. Before that was Longlegs, which we did not like. I felt simultaneously bored and not scared.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, Beetlejuice is coming up.
That's the one that we should see this weekend.
We should see it this weekend. We just have to drive up to like Tustin.
Like half an hour driving.
But I mean, how much gas is that? It's not that bad.
Round trip, that's like a 4th tank.
A 4th tank? How? It's not 100 miles.
Yeah, we've been having crap
Fine.
gas line.
It's true, we're in a hilly area. Well, we can push it off for like 2 weekends, maybe. There's like so many little bugs that are getting in. I don't know how. Do you have any windows open, hun? That are like not covered?
Oh, maybe in the front.
Oh. Through the windows. I was like, why are these flying bugs in here? Like, for God, Vincent. They always come to my side of the bed because of this light right here.
Stupid.
Stupid.
Alright, sorry, I'm just gonna scoot in here.
Okay. It's a big dude. Can barely fit through that little opening. Hello. Excuse me, I'm trying to live stream right now.
Daddy, chill.
Excuse me. Donica, I also love Sixth Sense. That one really, I watched it when I was really young, and it like really, I think it really stuck with me. I can like still vividly remember like several scenes from it. Except now, because that actress whose name I cannot remember right now, that she's so good and underrated, I think she finally won. She finally won an Oscar. She deserved it. But because she also did Hereditary, and that feels so similar to me, just like a haunted, struggling mother kind of a role. Sometimes I get them mixed up in my head, like which is from which movie. Poor Bruce Willis. My old favorite Shyamalan movie, the one that I used to say was my favorite, was The Village. I loved that movie. I had a big crush on Bryce Dallas Howard. When I was a kid, I didn't know it was a crush. I just couldn't stop looking at her face and thought she was really pretty. Now I know I had a crush on her. But I've loved her ever since. She was so good in The Village. That movie is just so spooky and weird. I love it. I think monster movies are like my thing. I just love like creative monster situations. And that one is such a fun twist on a monster where it's like, I'm gonna give it away. This movie's so old. If you don't know that movie, then I don't feel bad spoiling it. But I just love that like it's a monster, but it's a different kind of monster, and then it's the people who created the monster that are the real monsters. I just love that. I think that's so well done. And yeah, Joaquin is good in that. I like him in a lot of what he does. I'm really excited for the new Joker movie. When does that come out? November? I think it comes out in a little while longer, but I do love Joker. That Joker that Joaquin did was great. I think it's my favorite version. There's been some bad Jokers. Jared Leto's Joker. Not a vibe. And randomly, I'm kind of related to Jared Leto. Isn't that crazy? His stepbrother, or his half-brother, maybe? His half-brother, I think, is married to my stepsister. But I've never met him or anything because, like, the stepsister in question, she, her mom married my dad, and then she passed away from breast cancer really only a few years after they got married, and like I think it was in 2012. So I never met Jared Leto, but yeah, that stepsister and her husband are in Jared Leto's family. Now he has that crazy cult going on where they all wear white and stay on an island. It's just so funny. My stepsister is an actress. She lives here in California. I haven't talked to her in years because she and her husband were kind of obnoxious during the Obama era. And I was raised in a very conservative family, so I didn't like it when they post annoying comments on my Facebook posts.
5:45 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
Listen.
For but Beetlejuice?
Mm-hmm.
Great. We'll report back how we like it. But yeah, I was just a shy girl that didn't know how to say, please don't do that. Let's see. 2. Dang it, I'm off by a stitch, but I need to undo 2 stitches to make it right, I think. 2, 3, 2. No, we're actually good. What am I getting wrong? I'm still off a little bit, and I can't figure out why. I gotta look at my stuff. 2, 3, 4. That's correct. 2, 3, 2, 3. I don't know, folks. Oh, I know why. Never mind. We got it figured out. Okay, we're good. Never mind. It's because I didn't add a stitch, so we are safe from having messed up again. Don't you worry. Anyway, my stepsister here in LA has been in a bunch of stuff. She's been in How I Met Your Mother. Just like extra, like small roles. She was actually in, oh, what's it called? H2O. One of like the original Disney Channel movies when she was like a teenager. She was like the love interest. And she was slated to do another one, but there was like a scene with like her lying in a bed with someone, like, you know, another teenage boy. and they were like also very Mormon and conservative back then, and so her mom like wouldn't let her do it, so she didn't end up getting the part. But yeah, she's been in a ton of random stuff. Her biggest role was as the new love interest of Dawn, what's his name, from Mad Men. She's like the glamorous blonde that he leaves with at the end of the show. But yeah, so like that family, they're all super connected to Hollywood and Jared Leto, randomly. There just happened to be a part of the family that, because my stepmom died, we haven't like kept in touch with them too super much. Donica, thanks so much for hanging out. I love seeing you here, and also you have left quite a lot of comments, so I appreciate it. It's fun to respond to people instead of just rambling with whatever I can think of. Thanks for hanging out. We'll be doing this again next week. I think next week might be at 7 instead of 6 because Vincent has to do something beforehand, so just FYI. But good to see you. Thanks so much for being here. I feel like my nose getting the shot. Hello. Weird. Everyone else, what are you working on? Now, this is on you guys. Now you have to keep me entertained. Just kidding, you don't. That's a joke. Okay, we did this correctly. We are done with the broom, except for all the backstitching, which actually I think I might do right now. Because I already have this on my needle. Just gonna blind stick it in here. See if I can make it work. Doesn't this song kind of sound like the Peanuts? Da 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 da. Sounds very similar to that. Oh shoot! I didn't do a good enough job. Now that I've been talking about video games, I want to go play them. I kind of always want to go play them around the fall, though. Things always get cozy once it starts to get cold. It's not cold here yet. It's still very warm. So it's not quiet time yet. But, I'm thinking about it. Thinking about it for sure. I think I will. I'll finish Hogwarts Legacy, and then I'll start Fallout. That will, I think, be the order of operations.
Oh no, never mind.
What?
It's like, but Fallout is spooky. It's perfect for October, and I'm just like, oh, wizards and witches.
Yeah,
So-
but also, I'm almost done with Hogwarts Legacy, which means that I'd probably be starting Fallout near closer to October anyway. So I'm right, and you're wrong. Okay, I am going to do the back stitching on this. Oh, wait, I have to do the whole side of the handle, too. Hello. Might as well. I'm going to do every stitch. That just feels right for this pattern. I kind of like the look of every stitch. I think that it's just, it looks more stitched. Less like it's trying to be real, which, I mean, let's face it, something made of crosses is never going to look realistic. Let's go do this. I kind of want to go back to playing Stardew Valley now, too. Aaron, hi. Yeah, I have experienced that more, too. Like, the load times and stuff keep getting longer and longer. I have it on PS4, though. Because we just have like MacBooks in our van. So I have a gaming PC sitting in storage, which I would have been playing on if I could have. I don't know how it would have done on there. I just like PS4 was fine, but like it really was like the load times were already so slow. Like that was like the main thing for me. Like every time because like ideally I'm a completionist and I like to be totally immersed. So like in my ideal world, as I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy, I would want to like be totally able to like run through everything and like as if I was really a student traveler. Like that's like what I would like because that's fun to me. But I can't do that on PS4. Okay, you have it on PS4 too, so you know. Yeah, it's just like the load times were so slow that it's just like I can't even run through the castle like I want to because I have to wait for like 30 seconds every single time I go through a doorway. So frustrating. So that kind of like killed the immersion for me a little bit. We've talked about getting a PS5, but it just like it's way bigger and it sucks up so much more power. We just like couldn't justify it in the van. So like as soon as we're back in a house, we'll get the PS5 and then maybe I can play it on there and I'll have a better time. They do have a new Quidditch game coming out. I don't know if you saw that. But yeah, they have like I think isn't even the same studio for sure? I actually don't know. But I remember when Hogwarts Legacy was being made, they said specifically they're not putting Quidditch into the game because it's just too much to add to one game. So I always assumed they would make a separate one, even though they said they didn't have plans for it at the time. So I'm not surprised that there's a Quidditch game coming out. If it's on like the same engine and has the same art and stuff, I think I'll really like it because
It doesn't.
I do love how it looks. Is it more
It's cartoony.
Okay. Never mind.
It's
I'm not
probably
gonna
the
like it
same
then.
engine, but it's definitely very cartoony. And
I'm not gonna like it
here's
then.
the thing. They're saying like pay to win, but it's like cosmetics have a so it's just, like you can dump a bunch of money to buy all the cosmetics. And stuff
Oh, that's
like
so
that.
annoying.
So it's annoying.
I'm not gonna like that.
It's like me neither. Like if the gameplay is good,
Bummer.
I'll play it. But if you ever played Rocket League, that's
Oh,
very
Rocket
similar.
League. Okay, yeah. Yeah, never mind. I was a little bit hopeful. Not that Quidditch is like my favorite part of Harry Potter by any means. But it still would have been fun just to have another aspect of that world that I can hang out in because I do quite enjoy that world. It's so cute. I'm trying to decide if I want to probably put it over here, honestly. It's out of the way a little bit more. I'm sweaty. The sacrifices I make for you guys. I'm so wetting. It's okay. This is Pepsi that I got for 70 cents at Costco this morning when I went in to get specifically eggs. And then Vincent was teaching in the parking lot, so I also grabbed food. So I got us each a slice of pizza. And this soda is cheaper than almost anything else you can get. Like, it's cheaper to buy 20 ounces of, like, soda in a paper cup from Costco than it is to, like, get it in cans at this point. So, what I do now is I'll just get the soda without, like, a straw or a lid or anything, and then I'll just, put it in that cup and make it last all day. Cheating the system. Because it actually makes so much more sense. Okay, cool. Done. Great. Okay, so the only other thing I need to do on this is the back stitching for the broom, which I can do in that same brown. So I think I'll just do that right now too, because why not? Makes sense to do it. I only have that much thread left. I think I'm just gonna start a new one because it's not even worth it. I'll make like an extra long one. Oh, I don't need to do that. My nails go bad faster if I put them in my mouth. Sometimes I forget and I just stick it in there because I'm in a hurry. So I'm trying to be better about using a needle minder. Which I also sell, so I should be using them anyway. It's not like I have to pay to have them, they're just in my stock. I'm gonna do 2 strands. Oh no, I'm not. I think after I finish this broom, I might switch to knitting. Would that be crazy? Ugh, this is annoying not to. Use a needle to fix it. It's a little tiny knot. Oh no. Let's see. I'm thinking I have a van tour video coming out next. Because it's already filmed. I just need to keep editing it. Which is kind of a slog. Just because it's like my face and my talking too much. I know that sounds silly because I also do vlogs, but like vlogs are so much more in the moment. It's so much easier to like not think, like overthink it. And like when you're doing like a scripted video, it's just so easy to be like, I sound stupid and I want to redo all of it over and over again and you're never going to be happy. So they're not as fun to edit either if it's like you editing them. But I'm doing it. We're being brave. So I have that coming out next. But then I was thinking after that, I think it might be fun to do like a how I make cross stitch patterns video. I feel like that might be useful to people. And people, like my most videos are still related to cross stitch, which is not surprising. Because educational videos are always going to be more universally watched. So I was thinking I might do a how to make cross stitch patterns video if I can. This knot is a nightmare. How did this even happen? I just separated this thread. I don't know how I do it, but I do it. Anyway, so that might be coming up. I have to like think ahead about which pattern to demonstrate making and like how to do it. Because I know I can like make them on my iPad mostly because I draw a lot for them. So I could do most of it probably through screen recording and like talking through it. Okay, I think I fixed it. Yes. I don't know, it might be fun. I'm kind of thinking my next pattern might be something to do with Chappell Roan, just because I've been listening to her music a lot. Like I'm a Pink Pony Club regular, or like something like that. I don't know. Might be cute. Or my kink is karma. That might just be a fun quote. I don't know. I don't know what else I would do, but there's a few very like quotable, funny lyrics that might make good cross stitch patterns. I don't have to worry as much about being sued by or getting takedown notices like I do with Taylor. And Harry Styles too. I had one needle minder that was like half of like the Taylor Swift cardigan and half the like Harry's house, like that like colorful jacket that he wore a lot. I had a needle minder that was like those two things because you know like they're so tied together in their romantic history. And literally I think I had Harry Styles in the tag. Like that was the only thing that mentioned Harry Styles at all. It was in the tag, which like people can't even see, and it still got a takedown notice. And I was like, awesome. So that one's no longer on my site. I should have realized that was on me. But since Chappell isn't so crazy about all that stuff, Taylor Swift's the worst at it. I have to be really careful about how I like label and tag all of my Taylor Swift stuff. It has to be very vague, so I just have to trust that like fans will find it if they know what to look for. But yeah, Chappell might be easier to make stuff for, and I don't think that she cares. And I love fandom stuff. I think that it's fun, and I don't have any issue with buying it or sharing it. I think if you're making something that people like, I don't know why artists wouldn't want to utilize you and just like pay you for the rights to it. That's what's always baffled me with Taylor Swift is like, I'm a huge Taylor fan, but like I will never understand why they like do the designs and like hire the artists that they do. Or actually, I don't even know if they hire artists because they never give anyone credit, so I don't even know how they do it for their merch. But like their merch, like Taylor Swift's merch has historically kind of sucked. And the quality isn't good enough to justify the price, and the designs are nowhere near creative or fun enough to justify the price. So like I really struggle with like that. And I just feel like I don't know why she doesn't use all of the amazing artists on like Etsy and stuff to like make her merch. I will never understand that. So maybe Chappell will be better. But I do love her too. I'm kind of late. I was late to get on board because I honestly just don't listen to pop music all that much. I listen to music situationally. Like if I was driving by myself all the time, then I'd be listening to music constantly. When I lived in New York and I was like on the train all the time, I listened to music constantly. But like when I'm in a van with Vincent all the time, music alone is like not enough to keep me going while I'm like working on stuff, making patterns or like designing, whatever. I need like something a little bit more engaging mentally. So I end up watching like a ton of TV and movies. And then I read a lot. So like I don't listen to music that much anymore just because I don't have the opportunity to like walk around by myself. Sorry. So I was like really late to the chaperone. Late on the train. But she's right up my alley. I think that she's brilliant. I think that her voice is amazing. I think that she's doing so many things right and that like she'll be able to sing forever and ever and ever because she's just like her technique is so good. And I don't say that as a singer. I say that as someone who was raised by a classically trained singer. It's something that was talked about a lot growing up in my house. We'd always be talking about different singers and watching videos of singers and all that kind of stuff. So it was just something that I noticed. Her technique's really amazing. So I have been really enjoying watching her live performances especially. So all that being said, I'm kind of thinking like, why am I not doing something with that? Because I am currently obsessed. See, I'm doing all these random little lines for the broom, which are kind of hard to figure out. I gotta focus. Also, Erin, what are you working on? I don't think I asked you. What are you currently stitching or designing or whatever? Let's see. This is a lot. Why did I make so many of these? I'm glad I did. I think they're cute, but like, I knew when I was designing this, I was like, oh, someone's gonna be complaining about this internally. I just know it. And now it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Let's see. I think I got all this done. Oops. I'm checking them off on my iPad as I go, so I don't get too lost. Yes. Okay, you're good. Start cross stitching today. That's so fun. My pattern I'm working on right now is for Hocus Pocus. Glad you're here. Cross stitching is, I think, a deceptively difficult but also very rewarding hobby. And stitching in general is a really good skill to have that not enough people make a priority to learn in 2024. That's why I love my YouTube channel, like having been mostly about cross stitching, because I just think it's been so fun to find other like younger people that are doing it. I really had no idea that like I would ever have people that would be interested. I'm gonna actually start here. This is very confusing, but so fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. What is your Hocus Pocus kit? Like what is it specifically? Because that sounds fun. I have a few designs that I've made that were really fun to design. I'm always curious what other people have come up with. Yeah, crocheting is what I did when I was younger too. That was like all I did for a long time. I made this, like I knit now also, which has been a fun thing to learn in the last couple years. But most of my life I crocheted mainly. Maybe when like my mom sews, so she like obviously made us learn how to sew. We always had access to her sewing machine. And I used to tailor all my own clothes in school because we were poor and I used to buy a lot of stuff from the thrift store, so I'd like tailor myself. So I don't enjoy sewing so much, but I know how to do it too. But crocheting always felt really fun and creative to me. Knitting felt more intimidating. I waited way too long to learn knitting. I love it now. I find it more fun than crocheting now, just I think because of what you can produce. more stuff you can wear in more different ways. I really love making socks. But let's see. But all of it is good, equally valid, and equally, I think, good to know. Oh, okay. So if we're talking about random stuff we're watching, which we weren't, but now I'm talking about that. I just get on such a big TV kick sometimes. I love, love, love TV in general. I think I got it from my stepdad. He loves TV and like always is watching something. So I am now also the same. But there's a show I just finished that I had never heard of, and I don't know how I'd never heard of it because it's so good and I love it. But it's called Black Sails. It only has 4 seasons. It's on Netflix. It's from Stars. It's a grown up. It's Game of Thronesy. Not nearly as like brutal, but just like levels of like nudity and sex and violence, I would say. Game of Thronesy. But it's literally pirates, and it's so freaking good. I binged it so fast. So I don't know, maybe I'm just the crazy one that somehow missed that when it was on. It was from 2014 to 2017. So like it's not like it was super recent, but yeah, I'd never heard of it at all, and I just started watching it and I was like, this is so freaking good. So I just binged that, which I loved. And now I'm looking for a new show because I've already finished Fallout and really everything else that's like new and exciting right now. So if there's any other TV recs for things that are streaming that I could binge, well, let me know. So that's my favorite thing in the world. I love good TV. The mini kit has a few patterns. Sanderson Sisters hair silhouette's cute. I've seen those everywhere. They're so popular. I specifically didn't make a pattern of that because I was like, I couldn't figure out how to make it new, like in a way that hadn't already been done. Although there's too many cute ones already. I can't make anything cuter. All of mine are. I do have a Sanderson Sisters like brewing company design, but it's really complicated. It's like one of my bigger ones. Which is probably why people hardly ever buy it, because it's not easy for beginners. Come on. I'm trying to check off. I have too many lines. I'm trying to check off these lines and it's hard to get the right one. I'm also running out of thread, and I was hoping I could do it all on one thread, but I can't. These are too long. Okay, we're done here. I'm gonna do one more short one to try to like make sure the tension on this is good. So if you, I don't know how much you know about cross stitching. If you need any tips, let me know. Because, you know, some people like to be told things, and some people like to figure it out on their own. I'm not going to send you a barrage of tips that you don't need. But I'm always happy to help. And it's very fun. Let's see. It's like drawing, but with colored string. That's how I think of it. I always trying to figure out how to like make this a little more well lit. Contrast is always weird. I haven't quite figured out this camera yet. It's just new to me. I upgraded from my little DSLR I bought in France when I first started vlogging 6 years ago. I upgraded to this one 2 or 3 years ago, which is like a digital camera, so it's just a little different. I'm guessing the battery's gonna die sometime soon. We will see. Erin, does your hair silhouette pattern, is it just like the three, like the green, purple, orange that I see a lot? I accidentally bought exactly those colors the other day at Joann. Just like, I was looking at colors that I knew I didn't have that I wanted to add to the collection, and then I picked those up and I was like, it's Halloween on accident. Ugh. I don't like this song. I'm changing it. It sounds too much like I don't know what. The song's called June 21st. Must have been a great day for whoever made that. It's very cheerful, that song. Yeah, let me see. I have it right here in my thread bin that I have that I keep next to my bed because I live in a van. I just don't know where to put anything. But let me show you. I thought the colors I picked were like, wow, so cute. And then I was kind of wishing I had something to do with them. So then I was thinking about making a new pattern just because of that. And I was like, can I maybe make something to use with these like 3 specific colors that I got so I can make them into something? Here's my bin. Let's see. Here they are. I kept them at the top because I wanted to remember them. Like, look how cute these colors are. They're like great colors. I was like, I have to make something with these because they're so fun and vivid and they look so freaking good together. I was dying. Thinking about making something else that I don't have time for. But I kind of want to now because every time I look at them, they just make my eyes so happy. You know, like when you have really good, like fun, punchy, contrasting colors? They are my kryptonite. I went through a phase of like liking much more muted colors, and then I met my friend Jackie in New York. I actually met her through YouTube. She found me from my my like New York apartment tour video that I made 2019, 2020, 2019, I think. But we actually met through that because she moved into my neighborhood and was like looking at videos for my neighborhood. And so my video came up, and then she realized we lived literally around the corner from each other. So we met up, but she also crocheted at the time. And she is like the most bright color loving person I think I've ever met. And she is half Mexican, half Filipino, so her skin tone looks incredible with every single bright color you can think of. Like neons, oh my gosh, they look so good on her. So she's always making these like really fun, like knitted sweaters and like the brightest colors you can think of, and I kind of fell in love with them. The idea of bright colors. I always liked them in paintings and stuff. Like paintings I'd make when I was younger always were really, really bright. But I didn't generally like wear so much color. I think just because I lived in New York for a long time and everyone wears black. So she got me back into color, and now I'm always looking for other ways I can utilize color in my life. So my van is green. Okay, cool. That is officially done. This entire room. And I can hang out here for a while longer, so I'm just gonna keep going. Vincent's a good sport. He's just playing video games, so he doesn't care about anything. I do need to eat food at some point, but I think usually Thursday nights are takeout night for me. There's a right outside of, so we're in Doheny State Park right now, Doheny Beach in Data Point. This park is open until 10, which is really convenient, and right outside of the park is a Del Taco and a McDonald's. So I usually pick one of those to eat, or In-N-Out if we feel like driving a little bit, but I usually don't. Usually McDonald's. I really love McDonald's, to be honest. I grew up when I was like really little, we'd have a little, you know, like my aunt would take us to get like kids meals. But then when I got older, it was, you know, the early 2000s, and everyone's like, McDonald's is disgusting, because it kind of was disgusting back then. I think it was just like wasn't, like the stores weren't well maintained, so it was like became like a gross place, like not a good place to take kids to run around in the kids' place anymore. But it's like, it's fine now, and also, I actually really love it. I think it's living in New York, honestly, there's so many McDonald's and it's so cheap. I just ended up eating it quite a bit when I was poor. And as an 18-year-old New Yorker, and I never really stopped, so I am a fan, except for all of the prices right now are out of control, and it really pisses me off because like this food is not worth a $12 meal. You're kidding me. Stupid. So that's annoying, but otherwise I do eat there quite a bit. I just only do the cheapest of sales, whatever deals they have. Like whenever the LA Dodgers win a game, or if they get more than 6 runs, I don't know, I can't remember, but then they'll do like a deal for like the McDonald's here in LA. So I just wait for that kind of stuff. I'm gonna look right now and see. Erin is a Payless redhead. I'm trying to incorporate more colors. It is hard. I don't envy you. Your skin tone is like, I'm sure, beautiful because it's just that's how it is. And red hair alone is beautiful, but it is hard to match colors with more because it is a color. Like red is not a neutral, like brown is, which is what my hair is. So yeah, I don't envy you that. I'm really pale. I'm really tan right now. This is this is the tannest I've been in years because we surf every day right now. But usually I'm very, very pale. And so like, because I have like a very winter, like dark hair, dark features, but I have light green eyes and very pale skin. Like jewel tones work for me. But I haven't had just plain old brunette hair very much in my life, actually. Like a lot of the time I have either red in it or I've had other colors. I've had a lot of colors in my hair. And I've been platinum blonde twice as an adult. So those times I think are why I've had a more neutral color palette for my wardrobe. It's probably because my hair and my makeup, I used to do a lot more like bright stuff with that. So I just had neutral clothes. I do think that, like, you just have to... I think the thing with redheads that people get wrong, tell me if I'm correct, as a redhead. Oh, I have to put this. I always use Thread Magic, by the way. Thread Magic makes a huge difference. As a new cross-stitcher, this stuff is incredible. I love it. It's different than beeswax. It's like a silicone or something. But it just kind of makes all the thread look a little bit more bright and vivid and shiny without changing the tone of it. And it shouldn't change the color over time like some other like thread coatings that like this helps with like slickness. It helps it not get so frizzy and like broken down as you're using it. Keeps everything a little bit smoother. Some other thread conditioners are like they kind of yellow over time or like change the tone of the color. So I like this one because it doesn't. But anyway, pro tip: if you're having a lot of issues with like the ends of your yarn getting like leaving lots of fluff and being annoying, that will help. Okay, what I was gonna say. Tell me if I'm correct. But I feel like what I see a lot is like the thing that, as like an artist, right? Because like I pay attention to color theory. I always have. I really love color theory. In fact, it's one of my favorite things. I love the way it blows people's minds when they like understand it. But I feel like people get color theory for redheads like really wrong because like people kind of categorize redheads as like warm automatically, like so like warm colors should work, but I think a lot of times redheads are actually cool toned, and so like redheads think that they should be wearing like warm colors, and then they're wondering why they look so like sallow or like I see so many redheads wearing like burnt oranges and yellows and like things that like a lot of like just like any other hair color you have warm and cool, right? Like I have like warm, like mahogany brown hair. Like I have a lot of red in my hair, but my skin tone is like cool underneath. Like I have all purple and blue veins. Which means that I'm like more cool toned, and that's why like jewel tones look good on me because like the bright, like kind of cooler colors work really well for me. Like I don't look good in burnt orange. Not at all. Like it's not a good color for me. Neither is most yellows. Like any kind of like mustardy, oof, no. Also any warm purples, no. Cool tones work. Like cool, like blues look really good on me. Greens, like cool, like foresty greens look really good on me. Like blue reds, purple reds look really good on me. So it's like that. I think that a lot of people miss that. Like they look at red hair and they think warm. And like the reality is I think a lot of redheads are cool toned. And so then it's just like it's harder to find colors that work because it's just like everyone's giving you bad information. I think I hear a lot of bad information when it comes to color theory for skin tone in general, and I think particularly for redheads, it's hard for redheads to tell if they're warm or cool. That is what I'm trying to say. Tell me if I'm wrong. Yeah, warms wash you out, which isn't surprising because I think people who are really pale, a lot of times you have less warmth in your skin tone, and that means that like cool colors will make you look more alive and more like fresh and less sallow and washed out. Yeah. I feel like a lot of it probably has to do with how much their skin handles sun. Because I think, like, obviously, like, people who get a tan are going to have a little more flexibility. Like, I know, like, when I have a tan, I can veer more into, like, neutrals and warms. When I have no tan, which I don't have most of the time, and for the last several years, I really I cannot do warms, like, at all. At all. It, like, does not, it is not a good time. It's not great. Okay, I'm going to start at the lettering, which is my most favorite part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that is correct. We shall see. I'm doing 3 strands for. Oops, that is the wrong hole. I'm doing 3 strands for the black because the darker the thread color, the more thin it is. Like the dark colors, each individual strand is a little bit thinner. So it helps if you're not getting good coverage and you want it full coverage. Like this isn't very full coverage either. I kind of like how that looks though, because I like individual X's. But if you want fuller coverage, you just need to add a thread. And that helps. So I'm doing 3 strands for this black. Because I do want the lettering to be a little bit more, make a little bit more sense. Oh, there we go. On the ghost little, we all get some kind of haunted, like the anti-hero ghosts that I did for my last pattern. I didn't care so much about it, but this one I do, because this lettering isn't supposed to look cross-stitchy as much. Like the other one, I'll show you. The other one was like very clearly cross-stitch lettering. I designed it that way because I kind of like the analog look. Like this is like so simple. I think it kind of looks good as individual little X's. But I just feel like, I'll show you this lettering. This lettering, I feel like needs not X's. It needs to be solid. So that's why I'm doing that. And I think most patterns, especially in particular like kids are tricky because it's like they don't always give you enough thread to add strands, and they'll specify how many strands you're supposed to use. So it's harder to add color, like extra strands for other colors besides black, but black is pretty easy to add. They usually specify how many strands and they only give you enough for that, so you have to like have extra on hand, which is kind of annoying. Lift this up a little. It's too far away from my face. I'm squinting. Sorry, this arm is... It works great. It's just kind of annoying to me because I am still learning how to use it. Yeah, see, that's better. Please stop. Thank you. I don't like this music either. If I notice it, that's not a good sign. Better. I just want it like acoustic. I don't want it like... I don't want it too funky sounding. Just basic. Ugh. Now that I started talking about food, I just realized how hungry I am. I don't think I ate enough today. We just ended up surfing for so long, and as soon as I got back from surfing, Vincent had a lesson to teach, so it wasn't as easy to like make food for myself because I had to, I got to be a little bit more quiet during lesson moments. And then from there, I only had an hour until stream time, so it was like, do what I can. What did I eat today? Now I can't remember. I had a slice of Costco pizza, pepperoni pizza, which is, you know, so good. Not healthy, but delicious. And then I had a peach. Yeah, I had a peach, which was also so good. I love peaches. That's like my most favorite fruit in the whole world. I buy them all summer long. And then we ended up going surfing immediately. And we got back from surfing. I got back from surfing at 3:30 and Vincent started teaching at 4. So I only had enough time to like change, wash my hair, and then I made a protein shake, like a strawberry protein shake. I got protein. Plenty of protein today. Hi, baby. He's so easy. He's like, stop it, dad. But then, yeah, then I was just working on other stuff and then getting ready for this. So that's all I've eaten today. Oops. That's why I'm so tired. I've just never, like, surfing has been such a hard adjustment because I've just never exercised so much in my life. And I've really caught the bug now. Like, actually, today was like the best day of surfing I think I've ever had. I caught so many bigger waves.
Really good.
I got so many bigger waves at the top of the wave we were supposed to, and I could like you know, turn down into it and like ride it and stay on it and like maneuver around people. Like I felt like I knew what I was doing today. It felt so good. So I just didn't want to go in. I was like having such a good time, but it was a lot of exercise, especially near the end because the wind picked up so much and it was really hard to paddle around and you were constantly getting pushed. So you have to like paddle back to like the good spot over and over again while you're waiting for the wave to come. It's like a lot of exercise, and like I said, I've never exercised in my life really consistently, and I never did sports. I was a theater and music kid, an art kid, so I forget. Sorry, that's so annoying. I forget that I have to prepare by eating. Vince, can you grab me the battery?
The battery?
Gotta change the battery.
Oh, you mean the camera?
Yeah, I'm not. That's my one thing that's gonna hold me back from surfing because I am not good about like making sure I get enough nutrition before I go expend a bunch of energy.
I need some nutrients.
And I want to have energy, and I feel really good and strong from all of this time in the water that I'm getting, and it doesn't feel good when you're just exhausted. I hate that. I just need way more like protein and carbs than I used to stay feeling good. It's a little tricky. Okay, change battery. We're doing pretty good on battery today. I have to fix the camera. Put it back where it was. Sorry, I know that's gonna give people motion sickness. There we go. No better. So no wonder I'm starving. Pro tip. Sorry, I keep putting my head too far forward. Pro tip. You start an extreme sport. Make sure you plan your meals. You can't just eat when you're hungry when you're out on the ocean for 3 hours. It is a tricky thing. It does take, like, surfing takes a lot of, like, setup and takedown. Getting into the right clothes and putting on all of the sunscreen and, like, checking the water and getting the boards unhooked from the van and then walking over and then reapplying sunscreen every 80 minutes and then coming back, rinsing everything off the showers and then putting the boards back up and then rinsing yourself off and putting all your wet clothes outside and washing your hair and washing all the sunscreen off of your face. It's a lot. It's not exactly like a quick hop in, hop out kind of situation. The other key I'm not good at remembering to do is making sure that my thread isn't twisted. I accidentally let it get too twisted. Sorry. Annoying. So I'll probably do... Sorry, I'm gonna make everyone hungry. I'm gonna do a bunch of chicken nuggets and probably also a McDouble meal. I think that's gonna be the play. I also really do love McDonald's fries. There's some other fast food I like other parts of, for sure. Like Del Taco, I love their just like tacos in general, I think are really good. Taco Bell, I love their bean burritos. But we never go to Taco Bell anymore because it's too expensive these days. It's like a special treat now. Compared to Del Taco, it's actually still cheap. Burger King, I really love their burgers. I think they're delicious. And In-N-Out, also love their burgers, but particularly I love protein style double doubles. Those are my favorite thing. It's basically wrapped in like it's like everything that you normally get in a double double. Cheeseburger, but wrapped in a whole bunch of iceberg lettuce instead of a bun. Because I really don't love In-N-Out's buns. I think that they're like almost always mine whenever I get it, it's like the bun is way too toasted, and it just feels kind of crunchy and burnt, and that's not what I want in a hamburger bun. So I really like the protein style double doubles, but I really hate In-N-Out's fries. I like squished, like crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside fries, and In-N-Out's fries are just crunchy, so I don't love those. Five Guys, I'm obsessed with their fries, and I used to love their burgers more. I still do love ordering like a Five Guys burger with In-N-Out, or not In-N-Out, with A1 sauce instead of ketchup, and then everything else normal, like pickles and mayo and lettuce and tomato and stuff. But just A1 sauce instead of ketchup, I think is delicious. But their food is so freaking expensive now. We don't go there either because it's like this one is at $8 or something for like a mini cheeseburger there. It's crazy. So we don't go there very much either. But I do love their fries so much, especially their Cajun style fries. It's just the right amount of like spice. I love it. Yeah, we eat fast food. That's what happens when you live on the road. Like every single place we go, there's like something that we can find to eat, and so then I just end up trying a lot of it. Let's see. Sonic, I really love their Coney dogs still. I know that they're so gross, like a foot-long hot dog with cheese, like cheese chili, but it's so good. Aaron, thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks for letting me narrate all my favorite fast food. I'm just talking to myself. Have a great night and a good day at work tomorrow. Thanks for hanging. I want to know if Daniel's still here. Daniel, you've been real quiet. If you're still here, tell me. I don't know if you're still working on stuff or if you've like gone to bed without telling me. Keep putting my hair down because it gives me a headache to have it up, but then it's too hot to have up. So I just keep going back and forth. I wanted to let it dry earlier, but it's dry now. I wasn't kidding. I'm gonna look at the McDonald's menu also. Let's see if they have any deals for me right now. Did you hear that, Vincent?
Hmm?
Did you hear me talking about fast food at
Oh,
McDonald's? Yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah.
He just got paid, so we're good. What are the deals today? What are the deals?
What are the deals?
Ugh, LA Dodgers did not do anything exciting.
Boo.
Best part about sports season is literally the deals that all the fast food does with them. Oh, actually, since they won, it's a free medium fries with minimum purchase of $2. But I'd much rather have a free 6-piece chicken nuggets. So, fine, I'll make it work. Yeah.
That's what I have in my mind right now.
What do you have in your mind right now,
Like,
Vincent?
What kind of brain rot would I have in my mind right now?
I don't know. I don't know what your rotted brain is thinking about.
Sick beating nugget?
What is that from? I can't even remember.
It's like that
It's
one
such an
guy that
old
was
meme.
like trying to prank like a fast food worker like that, and like purposefully would pronounce things wrong.
Oh, okay.
You want what? Like, say that again. Like a large boke?
Oh, okay,
A
I remember
bucket
that.
bookie?
I remember that.
6-piece bacon nugget? Just, for some reason, it's just like it's everywhere now.
That's funny.
There you go, I found it.
Bacon nugget. That's it. That's funny. Yeah, I'm much happier with 3 strands instead of 2 on this. For sure. This was the move. Since if you want to leave right at 9, also we can. You're ready to
You're gonna
bed.
be doing that night?
Mm-hmm. The main thing to do is just the surfboards.
Yeah.
Make sure they're all latched back onto the side of the van. The feeling Daniel abandoned me. I'm just gonna keep stitching for a few more minutes, and I think I'll get off in like 15 minutes, maybe. I might get off a little bit earlier tonight if there's no one hanging out, because I'm hungry, and why not? Give myself a few extra minutes to pack up the van and head out, so we gotta drive to our sleep spot, which is always an adventure every night. You never know what you're gonna find. I'm also actually really happy with how much I got done of this. And it's so fun to stitch my own patterns that I haven't been able to do until now. That feels really good. This lettering is fun. I'm glad I made it. I think it's cute. Actually, I just changed my mind. I'm going to stop right now because I'm at the end of this thread and there's no reason to start a whole new one. I'm just going to have to leave it anyway. Might as well just stop right here. Okay, let's see. Is this the last stitch? One more stitch. Okay, friends. It's been great. It's been grand. I love hanging out with you guys. It's so fun to have time to do these projects together every week. I love it. We'll be back next week. I think next week will be 7 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock because Vincent's starting his own thing over on his channel, French on the Go. So we gotta share stream time.
Actually, TBD might still change a little bit, so.
Oh, okay.
About that.
So it might still be 6 o'clock then.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe.
Regardless, I'll post it and schedule it, so you don't have to worry about that. But thanks so much for hanging out. It's been lovely. It's been fun. I gotta cut this. We're gonna pack up. I'm gonna go eat so much food. And we'll see you guys soon.